So in this year, we have to learn these topics in Pandas. I have just copy paste everything from the syllabus. Okay, so first we are going to understand the Pandas and Matplot, and then data structure in Pandas series and data structure. These things we are going to understand first. And then if we require, then I'm going to do it practically also. I'll just tell you about this. So the first thing you have to understand कि what is pandas, pandas है क्या इसके बारे में first we have to know that. Okay, so we all know pandas is a library, and this library is developed by Wes Meskini. Okay, he is the developer of pandas library, and pandas is mainly used for it is used for the data analysis, it is used for the data processing, or you can say it is used for the data analysis. It's provide the different types of the data structures that help us in doing the processing. Okay, and for that purpose we are using the pandas. What is the full form of the pandas? If you are going to check the full form of the pandas, it is known as the panel data system. It is known as the panel data system. So DA stands for the data here, DA stands for the data, PAN stands for the panel here, and S stands for the system here. So the full form of this panel data system, that is the full form of this pandas library. Okay, now after that, if you want to use the pandas, as I told you last time also, you all have to install the pandas. So you can simply install the pandas by using the pip command, pip install pandas, and we all know about this. You have to install the pandas. After installation of pandas, what you have to do, if you want to use, you must have to import the pandas. You require to be use the import pandas as pd or you can write import pandas only. But I suggest you use this alias also while you are importing the pandas in your library. Okay, so actually pandas is used for the scientific processing, scientific calculations. It's provide the facility to do the data processing on the small data as well as large data. How we are going to do this, and what is the Matplotlib? Matplotlib, this is the another library, and this library is used for the data visualization. Panda is used for the data analysis, while Matplotlib is used for the data visualization. Okay, now what is the data structure here? There's one word is there, data structure in pandas. The first thing you have to understand what is the data structure. Actually data structure is what normally data structure is provide a way, it's provide a way to organize the data, it's provide a way to organize the data. What about the data structure? Normally data structure is tell about that how the data is going to store. It's tell about that how the data is going to store and how we are going to do the processing with the data, how you are going to process the data. What is the meaning of the processing? Means how you are input and how you will get the output from the data. Means if you want to perform the read operation, how can you do the read operation? Okay, means read means you are going to read the data, that is the output, and how you are going to do the write operation means that is the input for the data. Okay, so normally there are different types of the data structure is available whenever you are using the computer for the programming purpose, but here we are going to talk about the series and data frame. So what is the series and what is the data frame? If you are going to talk about the series, you can know series is what is the one-dimensional data structure. It is a one-dimensional data structure. The first thing you have to understand, what is the meaning of the one-dimensional? It means that the information is stored in the form of this way. This way it's going to store the information. This is A, B, C, D. So this is your data. This is your data. And one thing it's going to manage, that is known as the index. One thing it's going to manage, that is known as the index. So index is automatically given to this. This is the 0, 1, 2, 3. This way you can get the index. Okay, this way. And we have a facility, we can give our own index also. We have a facility, we can give our own index also. So series is a one-dimensional data structure. But if you are going to look at the data frame, if you look at the data frame, then you can find out easily that data frame is the two-dimensional data structure. It is the two-dimensional data structure. What is the meaning of the two-dimensional data structure? It means the information is represented in this way. Information is represented in data frame in this way. Not row and intersection of rows and columns are shown, line are not shown there. I'm just drawing here. Okay, it looks like this way. Okay, this is the column A, this is the column B, this is the column C, and now here you are having the different types of the data here, and here you are getting the index number. Here you are getting the index number. So this is known as the index, or you can say this is known as the row index, and this is called the column index. This is the column index, and this is the row index. So in this way, we are going to store the data. The first thing, now you understand what is the series, how the data is going to store. Here the data is going to store just like a 1D array, just like an array, and here you are going to store the data just like a 2D array. So indirectly you can say this is the two-dimensional array, and indirectly you can say this is the one-dimensional array. The first thing you have to understand. Now second thing, okay, if you are going to check this, so one thing you can understand, so whenever you are going to store the data in series, the data is the homogeneous. Here the data is the homogeneous. What is the meaning of the homogeneous? Homogeneous means similar types of the data you are going to store in a series. But here data is the heterogeneous. Here the data is the heterogeneous. What is the meaning of the heterogeneous? Heterogeneous means you can store the different types of the data here. You can store the different types of the data here. Means that suppose this is the name column. Suppose this is the name column. Then what you are doing? You are going to write the name. And suppose this is the fee column. Suppose this is the fee column. Then what you are going? You are going to write the information in the form of the number. So one column is containing the number, one column is containing the string, one column can contain the date, one column can contain the integer value. So different types of the data you can store here, and that's why it is called heterogeneous, and series is known as the homogeneous. One thing you can also understand here, and that is related to the mutability. That is called mutability. Okay, which one data type is the mutable and which one is the not mutable? If you look at the series, then you can say there are two things is there. There are two things, means on two aspects we have to think about this. One is called value and second is called size. If we look at the series, then series is the value mutable. Series is the value mutable, but series is the not a size mutable. Means we can't delete the any row and column, any data from the series, and we can't add anything up. Means if you are going to do something, add and delete with the series, it's automatically going to create the new series. Suppose I am going to remove this, I'm going to drop this, I'm going to drop this. Then what happen? It's going to create a new series, and that series will contain the data like this way. So that is the difference. It's not going to make the change at the same place. It's not going to make the change at the same place. So that's why it is known as the size immutable. But we can change. If suppose in place of A, I am going to write my complete name, then I can write. I'm having this facility, I can write this thing. So this is called value mutable. So it is value mutable, but it is not a size mutable. Okay. But if we are going to look on this data frame, in case of the data frame is the value mutable also, as well as it is a size mutable also. So you can change. You can make the changes in the value also, and you can add the new row. You can remove the any other column. You can remove the any other row also. So you can make a change anyway in a data frame. So now you understand what is the series. Series is a one-dimensional data structure. Data frame is the two-dimensional data structure. Series contain the homogeneous data, while data frame is contain the heterogeneous data. This is the 1 and 2 marks question, and this is the important for your board exam also. So be careful about this. Series is the value mutable, while it is not a size mutable, while data frame is the value as well as size mutable. So this is about this basic concepts which I have to discuss with you. Okay, now we are going to talk about why you are switching on camera. You are sleeping and taking class. Very good. Now the next concept is creation of series. Okay, how we are going to create the series. If we want to create the series, then what we have to do this. So this is the now creation of series. Okay, how we are going to create the series. If you want to create the series, the first thing we have to import. We have to write down the import statement. So the first thing we have to do, import pandas as PD. This is the most important and necessary instructions you have to write while you want to create a series. Okay, after writing this statement, what you can do? You have to call this. You have to call a method. A method through which we can create the series. The method is known as the series method. What is the name of the method? The method name is the series. Generally, we are passing the two arguments to this. This is the optional, data is the compulsory, but the second argument is the optional. But most generally, we are passing the two arguments. One is data and second is index. One is data, second is index. Remember that This is an optional argument. Index is an optional argument. And because we have to call the series method, and this method belongs to the pandas library, so we can't write the series method directly. We have to write the statement like this: pd.series, pd.series, or you can write here pandas dot series, panda dot series, and provide the data and provide the index. In short, I'm writing ind. Okay, so you have to call in this way. And one thing, because this is going to create a series object, so definitely we have to write down the name of the variable before it also. So I'm writing here s and s. So s is what? It is a series object. It is a series object. So what happened? Whatever the series created by this statement, that series is going to referred by this object. Okay, that series is get referred by this object. Means if I want to access the series, I have to use this variable to access the series. So that is the things you have to understand. Okay, so now first you understand how you can create the empty series. If you want to create an empty series, simply you write the statement like this after import a statement. Remember that this statement is compulsory in any cases. First of all, you have to import the statement, then only you are going to write the any other thing. So first write this statement, import pandas as pd, and if you are going to use the numpy, then don't forget to import the numpy also here. So you must be write the statement import numpy as np. Okay, so these two things you have to take care, and after that you can write the statement like this: s equal to, and I want to create an empty series, so I'm going to write s equal to pd dot series only. Okay, and don't write the series in a small letter. So what I have to do, I have to write the series in capital. S is capital here, so series, and don't pass any argument. Don't pass any argument. So what happened now? We are going to create an empty series. This series is the empty series. This series is not having any value. Okay, so this way you can create the empty series. I think it's clear to you all. Is there any doubt anyone is having? If you're having any doubt, you can ask. Okay, next, what is this? What is the next? Suppose we can create the series by passing the different types of the value. We can create the series by passing the different types of the value. Means what? We can create the series by passing the sequence. What is the meaning of sequence? If I am saying the sequence, it means that I am talking about, hello? तो एक बात पे बात करते हैं. Okay, so if you are going to talk about the sequence, then what is the meaning of the sequence? Sequence means we are talking about the list, we are talking about the tuples, we are talking about the dictionary. Dictionaries I have written here, so we are talking about the dictionary, and normally a string. Don't write the dictionary here. A string is the different data types. It's not a sequence here. Okay, it is a mapping data type actually known as the. Okay, so a string, list, and tuples. So we can create the series with the help of the sequence also. We can pass the string as an argument, we can pass the list as an argument, we can pass the tuples as an argument. Means as a data you can supply any one thing here. Okay, we can create the series with the help of the numpy array, we can create the series with the help of the dictionary, we can create the series with the help of the scalar value, we can create the series with the help of the scalar value dictionary. So now I'm going to tell you how you are going to use the sequence if you want to create a series. If you want to create a series, and by using, I can show through this also, but it takes so much time, so I'm going to explain everything on the whiteboard just like this by writing only. So try to understand and be patient. If you want to check it, you just check it on your mobile and on your laptop or desktop where you want to check. So now if I'm going to use a sequence, so how I'm going to create, suppose I want to create a series and the name of the series is the S1, and what I'm writing here, pd.series. What I'm writing here, pd.series. I hope so my handwriting is readable to you. And now I'm going to provide the list value here. So what I'm writing here, I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4, this much only. So what happened by writing this statement? What's happened? We are getting, if you are going to print this as, suppose I'm writing print S1. Suppose I'm writing print S1. Okay, if I'm writing print S1, then what happened? I'm getting yes, Meenakshi, do you want to say? Nancy, you want to say anything? Okay, so if I'm going to print this statement, so what I'm getting the output like this way. This is the one. In this rectangular box we are not getting, don't worry. This is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4, and here it is written like 0 1 2 3. So this 0 1 2 3 is the index here. This is the index here. Okay, this is the index and this is the data. This is the data, and at last you will see here it is printed here D type. It is printed here D type colon, and because I am given the integer value, so it is by default its data type is the integer 64. So this message you are getting if you are printing S1. If you are printing S1 by writing this statements, I have just created the one series and we can get the output in the same way. Okay, the same output you can get if suppose I'm writing the statement like this: S2 is equal to PD dot, sorry, it's a dot, PD dot, okay, PD dot PD dot series, and this time instead of the tuple list, I'm going to pass the tuple here. I'm going to pass the tuple here, and okay, this much only I am giving this, and now I'm writing the print s2. Then what happened this time? Also I'm getting the same output because the same value I have given here. That's why I'm getting the same output. Okay, next, if you are going to create a series and if you are going to provide the value, that is the numerical value. Suppose I am going to create another series s3 is equal to, and I'm writing here pd dot, it's a dot, don't count anything I like this series, and now I'm going to pass the value 1.5, 2.5, something like this, and now I'm printing this series. Then how I'm getting the output? I'm getting the output like 0 1, and here it is 1.5, here it is 2.5, and what data type it's going to show? That the by default it's going to give the data type float. By default it's going to give the data type float, 32 or 64. It's a 64. By default it's giving float 64, integer 64. Why 64? Because it is the 64 bits. What is the meaning of 64? 64 means 64 bits. So this way you are getting the output. So now you understand how you can use the list, how you can use the tuples. If you want to create suppose a series by using the string, so simply pass the string. Suppose I am passing like this s4, and you assume that I have written the import statement. Okay, so I'm writing here import pd dot series. I'm writing here import pd dot series, and here I'm writing hello, how are you? Okay, or hello only, or you can write hello, how are you? Suppose I've written hello, how? This much only I have written here, and now I'm going to print the s4. Now I'm going to print the s4. So what happened in this case? If you print the s4, you are getting the output like this: 0. Okay, and it's a written the output hello how you are getting here. And whenever you are checking the data type, the data type is the object. You are getting the object data type here as a output. Okay, so this way you can get the output. This is the output of this statement. Okay, now so now we understand how we can use this sequence. Next I'm going to tell you how you can use the numpy array to create the array. If you want to use the numpy array, simply first of all you have to understand that you must write this statement: numpy import numpy as np, and I have already written the pandas as pd, and now I'm going to create an array of numpy. So what I can do, I'm going to call the several function of numpy array. So I can use np dot nrange. Okay, I'm using the np dot nrange, and I'm giving the 1,5. So what happened? It's going to create a numpy array, and that numpy array is containing the value, and the value in between 1 to 4, because this is the last value, so it will be not included here. It's just like a range function. Only difference is that this is the numpy array. This function will return an array, while range function is return the list value. And now I'm going to create another series, suppose as 5, and I'm writing here as 5, and I'm writing here pd dot series, and I'm passing the array only. So what happened? Because this arrays function is going to create an array. Okay, so what happened? I'm getting the output like this way. Suppose if you are going to print the s5, you are writing the statement print s5. So how you are getting the output? You are getting the output 0 1 2 3. This is the index, and this is your value 1 2 3 4, and here we are getting the data type int 64 or 32. It's a 64, I think. Okay, so we are getting the output like this way. Now I'm going to check this numpy array situation. I want to check. So I'm writing the command here. Let's see. I have some confusion with the data type. So I want to show you. So I'm writing here import numpy. Okay, numpy numpy as np, and I'm writing wait. I have to wait because it takes some time. Okay, done. So now I'm writing here import pandas. Okay, as pd. So this must done. Oh, sorry, why I've given the semicolon. Okay, it's working. I think it's waiting for the another command. Yeah. So now imported, and now I'm going to write as equal. First, I'm going to create array and array equal to, and what I'm writing here np dot and range. Okay, and range. Sorry, and range. Array range. Numpy range. It's working or not? Or is there any problem? Oh, arrange. Actually, I'm using the wrong function here. It's a array range, not n range. So now I'm showing this. This is the array is created. So here is the one mistake. That's why I check this. Okay, sometime it's happened. So don't worry. This is the a. This is the a. Don't count as a n. Okay. So now I'm going to call. I'm going to call the series object. So I'm writing as dot pd dot series, and what I'm passing array here simply, and I'm pressing the enter key, and I'm printing the s. So it is integer 32 because this is the numpy array. So in case of numpy array, what happened? The default value is not 64, it is the 32. That's doubts I have. That's why I've checked it. So now you got it. The what output you are getting this. Okay. So this way we can create the numpy array also. Okay, using the numpy array. You can use the any other function of numpy array. It's up to you which functions you are going to use and which functions you want to use. This is up to you. You can use the lean space also instead of this array dot this. Instead of this, you can use the lean space, and you can use any other functions. I'm not going to discuss this much. Okay, because you have to just do the practice, and I'm writing here 1 comma 10, and I want the value in between this 5. Okay, so this much, and now you check the array is created like this way. So this is the float data type, and if I'm going to write this statement, look at this, it's a float 64. So this data type is the float 64, and the array is created. Okay, so this is about how to create the array through the numpy array. What is the next? Next is the dictionary. Suppose you want to create an array through the dictionary. Dictionary, we all know this is the mapping data type, and if you want to create the numpy series through the dictionary, so normally what happens? Suppose I have a one dictionary like this, one, okay, and I have another component 2, and I'm writing here 2, okay, like this way. This is the dictionary here, and if I'm going to create the series with the help of this, then what happened? Let's see. I'm showing you here. Okay, just look at the look at here. So I'm creating the one dictionary first, d is equal to, and I'm writing here 1 colon, and I'm giving 1 something like this, and then I'm writing here 3. I'm not giving the value in sequence. There is some reason behind this. I want to show you. You just understand this. After writing this example, you easily understand why I have not given the value in series like this. Okay, so 7, and now I'm closing this. So my dictionary is ready, and now I'm going to create a series, and s equal to, I'm going to create, I'm going to write the same statement here, just enter key, and instead of AR, I'm going to type D here. Okay, and now you see this. What happened? What happened? You just try to understand here what happened and what is the difference between in the previous example and this example. In a previous example, what happened? The index is given by automatically. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, in the previous example also the index is given automatically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But what happened in case of the dictionary? In case of the dictionary, the index value is similar to the index of the dictionary. The index value is similar to the index of dictionary. You can observe here. You can see it here. What happened here? The index is 1, value is 1, index is 3, value is 3, index is 7, value is 7. So in a dictionary, in a series also, index is 1, index is 3, index is 7. Okay, so this way it's a something different. So that things I want to show you, and I hope you understand this. Now you understand how can create the dictionary. This now another thing is the scalar value. We can create the series with the help of the scalar value also. What is the meaning of the scalar value? Scalar value means I want to create the series with the help of the only one value. Instead of so many value, I'm writing here 20 only. What happened? It's going to create the only one elements. Okay. So series is created with the one element here, only one row is here. Okay. But if I'm going to mention the index here, suppose I'm going to use the same object, but here I'm going to write index. So we can specify our own index also. We can specify our own index also by using the index argument. So what you will do, you have to write the index like this. Suppose I'm writing index 6, 1, 9, okay, 12, okay, 87. So this much index, this index values I have given just. And now you check it this, what happened? It's created because you have given the 5 index value. So it's creating the 5 index element here, and all are getting the similar value. All are getting the similar value. So that is the advantage and that is the difference between this. But don't think that you will not use the index with the list, you will not use the index with the any other value. Suppose I'm writing the list here, suppose I'm giving the list here, but be careful, the number of items and number of index must be matched. Number of elements in index and number of items in your, okay, these two things must be matched. Look at this, index, number of elements in an index and number of elements in a data, they must be matched, otherwise we are getting an error message. Okay, so look at this, we can use the index like this way, and we can use the index in any other way also. Suppose you want to use the index from a string, so we can use the like this way also. We can use the some other statement also, like this. We can use x there is a one statement x for we can use the statement like this, index is equal to, and I'm writing here ch for ch in, and I'm writing here adty additive only this much, because I have 5 value here, so that's why I'm giving the only 5 value here. So this way also we can use. Now look at this, every character of additive aditi becomes the index value for the every element here. Okay, so we can use this concept also, and we can use the some other concept also. Suppose I have a one array is like this way, and suppose I'm going to create the one array in this way, array is equal to np dot arrange. Okay, and now I'm using here arrange, and now I'm using here 1,5. Okay, we can use the expression also for the creating the data instead of the scalar value and something like this. Suppose I'm using here, and I'm using here, I'm giving the data like this way, array multiply 2, and index I'm giving this, I'm giving the index like this way. Look at this, there is a problem, length value. Okay, length value is problem. Okay, so I'm giving this much only. This is the error, this error you are getting if mismatch of the index. Look at this, what happened? Look at the array and what value is there, because I have given this, and we know that numpy array is doing the vectorize operation, so it's doing like this way. Okay, so that thing is happen here. So next I'm going to show you just fast, come on, and we can use the some another operations also, we can do some like this way also, so we can do. Okay, so this way we can create the series object by using the data and by giving the index also. You can provide the index also, and you can provide the data also. So now look at this, this is the data and this is the index. Achha, one thing you want, I want to tell you, suppose you want to mention the data by using the data keyword, we can we do this? Yes, you can do this. So don't be confused with this. Suppose instead of this statement, suppose I'm writing here and I'm giving the, I'm going to erase these things, and here I'm writing index equal to here, and here I'm writing data is equal to this. Okay, we can change the position also by write. If you want to write the data, then you can write the index first and you can write the data after the index. We can write this way also. Look at this, it will not create any error message. We can write in this way also, because you are mentioning the name of the argument, so you are free to use the argument anywhere. Okay, at the first position, at the last position. But if you are not mentioning the argument name, then it is compulsory, we have to use it before that. Okay, we are at the first position only. So now you understand how we can use this, how we can create the series object, and how we can specify the data, and how we can use the expression, mathematical expression or functions while creating the series object. Okay, so now you understand. Now I'm going to tell you about the attributes of the series object. We all know that every object is having the some predefined attributes. So whenever you create the series or whenever you create the data frame, the Pandas have decided the some attributes for the series and data frame, so that attributes is assigned there automatically. So what attributes is important for the series? You just try to understand. There is a one attribute that is called index. And index, what is the use of the index? Index attribute is give the indexes of the series. If you want to get the index only, you want to know about the index only. For that purpose, you have to use the index, and it's going to return the value as an index array, as a index array. And sometimes it's returning the output in the form of the range value. It's telling that the value is from this range to this range if it is in a sequence format like this. Right now, if I'm going to check this, I'm getting something different index here. One thing. Second is the values. If I want to know about the what values are stored, I want to know only the data. I don't bother about the index. I want to only the data. So for that purpose, we are using the values. And here you are getting the output in an array format, numpy array. It's a giving the output in a numpy array. These things you have to understand clearly. It's giving the output in the form of the numpy array. I'm going to show you here. Just wait. If I'm writing here as dot index, as dot index. So what happened as dot index? Look at this, what you are getting. And if I'm writing the as dot values, then look at this, what you are getting. So this way you are getting the output. Output is always given in the form of the array. Okay, so there's two arguments are the important for you. Sometimes we have to use the index argument, sometimes we have to use the values. Okay, if you want to check the data type, then there is a one more attributes that is known as the data type. It's tell about the what is the data type of the data. What is the data type of the data? This is the data type of the index, and this is the data type of the data. So normally it will tell about the data type of the data like this way. This data, what is this data type? Actually, this is the type of the data. It's not talking about the index. It's talking about the data here. So this value you will get through the data type. If you want to know shape, if you want to check what is the shape of the numpy array, series object. So for that purpose, we can use the shape argument. We can use the shape argument for this. First, I erase this. Okay. Yeah. So now look at this. Okay, how we can check the shape and how we can check the data type as d type. And I'm simply writing here as d type, and I'm simply writing here as dot shape. And look at this, what I'm getting 4. 4 means there are 4 elements. Okay, it's a one-dimensional array, so we are getting the output in a tuple forms, but it's having only one value. If we are going to check the there is a one more argument is there. This is called n bytes. So we are going to check that as dot n bytes. What is the meaning of the n bytes here? Normally it's tell about the what is the total consumption of memory. What is the total consumptions of memory? So it's saying that it is the 4 bytes. Why 16 is given here? Because it's a 32. So number of bytes is the 16. And because 4, yeah, every but this, okay, why it's a 16 given here? How you will calculate this 16? Because one variable is consuming the 32 bits. One value is consuming the 32 bits. 32 bits means this is the 4 bytes. This is the 4 bytes. And there are 4 number of data. So 4 multiply 4, what value we are getting? This is a 16 bytes. So that's why you are getting the 16 bytes value here. Okay, so this output, I hope you understand this. Okay, next, the next argument, and that is the ending. We can use the ending here also to identify the number of dimensions. How many dimensions are there? Normally it's having the one dimension because it is a one dimension array. There is a size attributes are also. So this attribute is used to check the number of elements are available in the series object. Through this, we can find out the number of elements are available. Actually, you can identify the number of elements through the shape also, but we have another options as dot size. Look at this as dot and name. You can check this. This is always one value. There is no item size is working right now. Earlier versions it is available item size also, but right now there is no item size. So how we can get the item size? Divide this by this. You can easily come to know 16 divided by 4. You can easily come to know what is the item size. So number of bytes divided by n bytes divided by as size, you will get the data types, item size. Has names. What is the use of the has names? Normally, has names is used to check the series object is having the nan value or not. What is the nan? What is the meaning of the nan? As you all know, nan is the not a number. It's a empty value in a numpy array. It's the empty value in a numpy array. So if you want to check, is there any empty value in this? Okay, nan value is given. So if there are any nan values there, then for that purpose we are calling the has nans attribute, and it's returned true if there is any nan value is there, otherwise it returns false. Empty to check the series object is empty or not. So now and the index, values, data type, shape, ending, size, has names, empty. So these are the attributes of the series object. These are the attributes of the series object. Okay, so these things you have to understand. Okay, through this you can just get the internal information, and sometimes we are using it for doing the some calculation also. Okay, now the next time the next thing is that how we are going to access the individual element. If you want to access the entire series, we are simply writing the name of the series, or we are simply writing the name of the series inside the print statement, and we are getting the output of the series. Means like this, what I want to tell you, I'm telling you, if you want to print the series object, suppose you want to print the series object, then what you are doing, either you type s in an interactive mode, or you can type print s. So in a both case we are getting the output. But if I want to access the individual value, I want to access the 9 only, I want to access the 16 only. So how it is possible? I want to access this value only. So how it is possible? It is possible with the help of the index of the series object. Okay, so how we can access the individual element of the series, accessing individual element. So how you can do with the help of the index value. So what is the syntax of this? Syntax is this: series object means we have to write down the series object name. Okay, so the series object name, and then you have to mention the index, a valid index, if it is not valid, we are getting an error message like this. I'm showing you. Suppose if I'm writing s5, s of 5, so 5 is not a valid index here. You can look at this. The maximum index value is 4 and minimum is the 1. It is the 1 2 3 4, but I'm writing s of 5, so it means I'm getting an error message. If I press, look at this, what error I'm getting? I'm getting an key error message here. So this types of error you will receive if you are giving the invalid index value. So now I'm writing here s of 1. Sorry, it's a wrong way of writing the syntax. S of 1. So I'm getting the first value, s of 2. I'm getting the second value, s of 3. I'm getting the third value, s of 4. I'm getting the fourth value. So this way we can access the individual elements. Okay. So now you understand how you can access the individual element. Now there is a one thing. Suppose I'm going to create a series object. Again, I'm going to create a series object by writing this statement. Okay, and this time I'm going to change it. The name of the object. It is S1. So now I have a one object S and one is S1. Now I want to do the slicing. Do you know what is the meaning of the slice? We all know what is the meaning of the slice, because these things you have already learned with the tuples, with the list, with the dictionary, with the string. So everywhere we are, and with the numpy array also. So everywhere you will learn about the slice. What is the meaning of the slice? Slice means the part of. Slice means part of. If we want to take the some parts, if we want to take the some parts from the series object, we have to use the concept of slice. Okay. So for that purpose, we are using the slicing here. So, but one thing you have to understand, as you know that here, look at this. Normally, we are doing the slice on the basis of the index position. In case of the list, in case of the tuples, in case of the dictionary, and dictionary is based on in case of the string. Okay, so in case of the numpy array, normally we are doing on this basis. But how we can do in the series object? You try to understand, because it is possible in series object ki index are not in continuous order. It may be in non-continuous order. So what happen if it is non-continuous, and what happen if it is an alphabet? So how we can do this? So always remember, with the series object, slice is done by position. Is done by position, not by index. It's done by position, not by index. So every element, suppose I'm taking about this thing, suppose I'm saying that this is the A, D, I, T. These are the index 1, 4, 9, 16. Okay, and here 1, 4, 9, 16, and this is the index value. Okay, but every series object is having the one position also. So this is the position 0, this is the 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. It means we can do the slicing on the basis of position, not on the basis of index. So these things you have to remember. So if you want to take the path from the series object, so for that purpose we have to do the slicing here. So how we will do the slicing? We have to always remember that slicing is like this. You can see that here is the index number is not given in a sequence. It is not in a sequence. Okay, it's in a gap of the two numbers. So how we can do the slicing? So first thing you have to remember, slicing is always done on the basis of the position. It's a by position. Slicing is done by position. It's not by the index. It's not by the index. So there is no role of index in the slicing. So now we are going to understand how you can do the slicing here. So what do you have to write? Just I'm going to write the command here. So the same syntax which you have already learned in the NumPy and list and everywhere. Suppose if you write this much only, then what happened? We are getting the entire string. So what is the meaning of this? I have not given the start position, I have not given the end position, means that I am getting the from the beginning to end. Automatically it is working like this. And if I'm writing like this way, then what happened? I'm putting this -1 also, and just I check this. What happened? We are getting the reverse series object. This is the reverse series object. This is the normal series object. Okay. So now you understand what you have to do. You have to mention the start position first. First, you have to mention the start position. I'm giving the start position 4. Then you have to mention the end position. And if you want, or I'm giving the start position 1, and I'm giving the end position 1, and I'm giving the step value 3. So what happened? I'm getting the first position element. If you look at this, this is your first position element. Then the next 3 element, which one is the third element? This one is the third element. Okay. After first, and again the next element. So first, for first plus 3, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 6, 7. And then 4 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why not? It's returning the 78. Achha, this value is going to ignore now. This value is going to ignore. So only 1 and 4th value will come here. And if at the same time I'm giving the negatives index value, suppose I'm writing -1 to -5, then what happened? And then we are getting an empty series. So what we have to write? We have to write -5 here, not -1. We have to write -5 to -1 because it's a positive. By default it is positive. And if you want to use the same statement, suppose I want to use the same statement, then what I have to do? I have to write the -1 here. Then we are getting the reverse order. Okay. So this way you can do the slicing. I'm not going to discuss this too much about this because we all know about the slicing. Slicing you have already learned in a list or a string or tuples and there also. Okay. So after the slicing, what we are going to discuss, we are going to talk about the operation. We are going to talk about the, so slicing is done. Now we are going to talk about the operation. What is the meaning of the operations? We have to perform the some operations there also. So you can look at this. This is the syllabus of the for your series. So what we had done, we have created the data series objects as created. Now you understand how to do the selections, means how we can access the individual element or indexing. You understand slicing, you understand. Okay, so if you want to access the particular elements, you can access the particular element also. So one thing I want to tell you, if I want to access the first position element, can I write this? It's a giving the error. Look at this. Only in case of the slicing we are working with the position. Otherwise, if you are right, look at this. If I'm writing like this way, then there is no error. There is no error. But if I write in this way, then I'm getting an error message. Why? Because this time it's trying to find out the index. This time it's trying to source the index, but that index is not available here. So how we can access the individual element? We can access the element by the index position, s of 5, s of 7, like this way we can access. Okay, now I'm going to create the another series object, and that is suppose D. That is suppose D. So D and PD dot series, PD dot series, and what I'm doing, I'm going to write here. Just to remember this thing: 1, 2, 5, 3, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements are there. Okay, and now in the index, I'm going to write here index 0, 1, 0. Sorry. Comma 0, comma 1, comma 0, comma 1. This is also known as the Boolean indexing, if you remember that. Okay, so this is the fourth. I'm giving this value here. So now I'm going to write here index of D0. So what happened? All duplicate elements are displayed here. So these things you have to remember. And if I write here D of 1, then what happened? We are getting the all one elements, one index position element. Okay, so these things you have to always understand. If there is a common index, then it's going to show the all elements there. Okay, duplicate values will be also the value, all values related to duplicate index will display here. So इस चीज को ध्यान रखना है. Next we are going to do something like this. We are going to work with the some operations like this if you want to do the some modification. Okay, so the first we want to do some modification. If you want to modify, if I want to change the value, I want to change the value of this, or I want to change the value of this index position. So how we can do the change? The change can be done like a slice with the help of the this way also, like this. Suppose this is the my series object and this is the index value. So simply you have to, the syntax is that as index position and then you give the new value. Whatever the value you want to give, you just give the new value. If suppose I want to give the new value here, so what I have to write? I have to write here 20 or 35 or 200, something like this. It's going to change the value. So now I'm showing you. First time clear the all drawing because it's too much. Yeah. Hey, move there. Don't come in this side. Okay. So now I'm going to write here s of 15 is equal to, right now it's 36. I'm giving here 360. So now you can check the s. What happened? It's become your 360. Okay. If you want to make the changes in the more than one elements, okay. If you want to modify, apply the change in the more than one elements, then what you can do? We can use the slice concepts here also. We can use the slice concepts also like this. Okay, suppose I'm going to change s of 2. Suppose I'm going to change s of 2 colon 4. Okay, and what value I'm going to give? I'm going to give here 45. I'm going to 2, 3. 3 value will come, so I'm giving here 45. And now check the both values are already, earlier value is already 45 here, and I have given s of 2 and 3. So this is 2 and 3. So this 6987 gets changed and becomes the 45 here. Achha, one more thing I want to check, can I give the value like this way? Can I give the value like this way? 89 and 98, can I give this? Yeah, it's also working. We can give the individual value also, because here is the two elements, the similar to the list. In a list, we are also doing the same thing. So here it is applied here. So now you understand. The next thing is that suppose I want to change the index. Suppose I want to change the index. I'm going to show the my D element and I want to change the index. It is given 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. I want to make it 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2 like this way, suppose. Then what I have to do, I can use the index attribute. How can rename the index? If you want to rename the index, we have to use the for renaming index. Okay, if you want to rename, we have to use the index attribute. Which attributes? We have to use the index attribute of the series object, and through that you can rename. So remember that. So how you can write this command? We can write this command like this way: s dot, no, it's a d dot. First I'm going to check how many elements are there. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I'm going to write? I'm going to write d of index. Okay, d dot index. So what I have to write, d of index is equal to, and now I'm going to assign the new index value 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm giving this index value. Okay, I'm giving this index value. There is a problem. I have written C there, There is no object of C due to mouse pointer. I'm not able to identify it is C or D. It's giving the feeling like, oh, what is this? Okay, so now I'm writing this command, and now look at this. My index is going, it's changed. Okay, so this way you can change the index also. Renaming index is done. Now there is a head and tail function. So I'm just going to tell you about the head and tail functions. What is the head and tail function? You just understand this head and tail. This function is used to extract the some data from the series object. Okay, so what is the use of the head? Head is returning the by default top 5 rows, top five values from the top, while tail functions returns the bottom 5 values. It's a return top 5 and it's return bottom 5 values. So these things you have to return bottom 5 and top 5 values. So how you will get the top 5 and bottom 5 values from here? So what you have to do, simply you have to call the head function like this way. Suppose I'm writing here d dot head. If I'm writing only simply d dot head, it's giving the first 5 value. If I'm writing d dot tail, it's giving the bottom 5 value. But if you want to extract something more or something less, I want only bottom 2 elements, then d of tail. And if I want to access the top 2 elements or 3 elements only, then d of head 3. Okay, you can give the 30 here. You will not get any error message. You know that there are only 7 elements are here, but I am giving the 30. In that case, I am not getting any error message. So now you understand how can use the head and tail methods. Okay, so this much parts are clear. Now we are going to discuss about the mathematical operations. There are some arithmetic operations we have to do on the series operation. So always remember, series support the vectorized operation. Series suppose the vectorized operation. So what is the meaning of the vectorized operation? If you are going to apply the any mathematical operations on the series objects, it's going to work with the element by element. It's always work with the element by element. Like this, if I'm writing here, this is the my elements. And if I'm writing here d multiply 2. So what happened? I'm getting a new list. I'm getting a new series. Look at this. This is the 1, 2, 5. I'm just looking on these things. Yeah. So pay attention here only. I'm looking on these things only. Look at this. This is the value. This is the value. Okay. So what happened whenever you are writing the d multiply 2, it's going to multiply each and every element by 2. So 1 multiply by 2, this is 2. 2 multiply by 2, this is 4. 5 multiply by 2, this is 10. Multiply 2, 6. 8 multiply 2, 16, 18, and 20. So this way we are getting the value here. Okay. Getting my point? So this thing, so it's always support the vectorized operation. It's always support the vectorized operation. Okay, if I'm going to suppose I'm going to write here s is the another element, d is the another element. If I'm going to write s plus d, then s plus d, then what happened? We are getting the outputs here like this 0 nan nan nan. Why we are getting the nan? Actually, whenever you are going to add the two series object, series object 1, series object 2, it's going to add the two elements on the basis of their index. If suppose S1 is having index 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have written here 5, 6, 9, 10, and S2 is having index 0, 1, 7, 9. Suppose you have written this. Then what happened? Whenever you are going to perform S1 plus S2, it's going to create total 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. It's going to create, and because there is only one index is there, and suppose it is 0 is 5 and 1 is 6 and it is 9 and it is 18. So what happened? For 1 we are getting this is 1 is having 5 and this one is having 6. So 6 plus 5, 11, and rest all we are getting 9. Why? Because only this index value is common. So these are going to add, rest all are the uncommon. So it's going to create a new series object, and the all other elements, those index are not matched. It's giving the nan value. Okay. So now I'm going, you can find out here it is 0, 1, 1, 1 like this way. Okay, I'll just show you. Just I'm going to change the index of the S. What is the index of S? It is S. So I'm going to, how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 elements are there. So okay, what I'm going to write S of index is equal to, and now I'm going to write the 5 value 1, 0, 2. Okay, first 3 elements I'm matching, and rest I'm going to write something like this: 5, 8, 9, 11, 13. Okay, what is this? 6, 6, 7, 8. Done. Now you check this, and now I'm going to do the operation S plus D. and we are getting the value for the, those are matching index value. Look at this, those are matching index positions. For that we are getting the value, and those are not matching means it is available only in one series object. It's not available in both. For that we are getting the NaN value. I think it is clear to all. Is there any doubt? If you have any doubt, you can ask the questions later on. First, let I finish this. Okay. Acha, one more thing is there. This is the important for this arithmetic operation. Now you understand if you are going to do the some arithmetic operations with the individual series, or you are going to do the arithmetic operation with the, if you are doing the arithmetic operation like this, if suppose I am writing here s multiply 2, then each and every element is get doubled, get multiplied by 2. But if you are going to do the operation like this s plus d, then the two in and two series object is going to add their element by element on the basis of their index position only. Not matching index, we are getting the NaN value. Okay, so these things we have to understand, and you always remember that series is always support the vectorize operation. It always supports the vectorize operation, and they same is the supposed by the numpy array also. Now there is a one tricky question you may get like this. Suppose this there is a list. In list the value is 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2 is written in a list, and there is a series object also, and in a series is also the value is 0, 1, 2 only. If I'm going to write L multiply 2 and I'm going to write S multiply 2, then what output I'm getting in this case and what output I'm getting in this case? Because in case of the list, because L is a list, S is a series, in case of the list, it's a work as a concatenate operator. It is just like a concatenate operator. Which operator? Concatenate operator. Concatenate means what? It's sorry, not concatenate, sorry, it's a replicate operator. Which operator? It's a replicate operator, not concatenate. So this is a replicate operator. So what happened here? Replication means what? Replication means it's going to repeat. So in this case, what happened? It's going to create a new list 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So we are getting a new list like this 0, 1, 2. Okay, but here because it is a series and series supports the vectorize operation. So what happened? It's going to create the another list, and that list and another series that containing the value like this 0, 2, 4. Why 0? Because 0 multiplied 2 is 0, 1 multiplied 2 is 2, 2 multiplied 2 is 4. So we are getting the new list in this new series object in this way, and we are getting the new list, but the list is containing the this value 2 times because we are using the replicate operator here, replication. Okay, so duplicate value is going to create. Okay, now I think this is clear to you all. Now the another thing is the filtration. We can do the some filtration also. We can apply the some condition if you want to extract the series object on the basis of the some condition. Some criteria is there on the basis of the value. For example, if I'm going to show you, suppose I'm showing you the value here S and D. I'm showing you this. If I want to ask you to just show me the value of top 5 elements. So what you are going to do? You are going to use the head function. If you want to access the 5 elements, you are going to write like this. If I want to access the bottom 5 element, you are going to write like this, tell 5. Achha, one thing you remember, if I'm not using the any value in this, in a head function and not giving the any value to the tell function, by default we are getting the only 5 elements. Okay, top 5 and bottom 5. These things you have remember that. Okay, leave it. Now suppose I want, this is the my list, and I want to display those elements which value is greater than 50. I want to display those elements whose value is less than 50. So how we can do this? So you can do this by applying a condition. So what conditions you have to apply? You have to apply the condition like this way. Suppose I'm writing here, this is my series object. First I'm going to clear this screen so that it's visible properly. And now I'm writing here as greater than 50. So what happened? We are getting the false, 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 true, false, true, false, true. Why we are getting the false, true, false, true? First thing I want to clarify to you all, if the S is having the, suppose this is your series object and it's containing the value like 1, 2, 3, 4. And another statement I'm writing S plus 2. Then what happened? It's create a new series object. So this is 1 plus 2, 3, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 plus 2, 5, 4 plus 2, 6. We are getting this value here. At the same time, if I'm writing S greater than 2, then what happened? Because this is the plus operator, so going to add. It's going to plus 2 with every L1. Okay. So if you are writing S greater than 2, it means what? It's going to compare. It's going to compare. Achha, one thing you always remember, S plus equal to 2 is not going to change the value of S. Okay. So here we are going to compare. So what happened? 1 greater than 2. Now it's going to write this statement in this way. So what happened? 1 greater than 2, false, 2 greater than 2, false, 3 greater than 2, true, 4 greater than 2, true. So we are getting this value false, true, false. But because I want to print, so what I have to do, I'm going to write the condition like this way, as greater than 50. What happened? For all true values, we are getting the data. For all true values, we are getting the data. For all false value, we are getting nothing. So look at this. Now I have written this, and this is called filtration. We can apply the any relational operator here, greater than, less than, and anything you can do. Okay. Now one more thing, we can sort the series object also. If you want to sort the series object, suppose sometime you want to arrange your series object in ascending and descending order. This time it's not in arrange in ascending and descending order. We can see the lower value is here, some lower value is here, some highest value is here. Suppose I want to arrange the series object in ascending and descending order. For that purpose, we have to use the sort function. Which function we have to use? We have to use the sort function. Sort function is available. Sort values. What is the name of the function? The name of the function is sort values. And in a sort values is need a one argument, and that is the actually optional argument. So here is the written here, ascending equal to, either you write ascending equal to true or you write ascending equal to false. Okay, by default it is in ascending order. By default ascending is true. By default ascending is true. So these things you have to remember. By default ascending is true. So now I'm going to show you how we can use the sort values method. If you want to arrange the series object, sometime might be possible, so you have to show. So I'm just writing here sort values, and I'm pressing. Look at this. I'm getting the output on the basis of value. I'm getting the output on the basis of value. Earlier, what happened? We are getting the output on the basis of index, but and the basis of the data you have created, or you can say index here. But here we are getting the value on the basis of the values only. Okay, and this is in ascending order. So suppose if you want to create the one list, sorted list. So what I'm going to write, sorted series object, sorted series I'm writing here. And now I'm writing as dot sort values. Sort values. Always remember that it's always returning a value, and that is the series object. Now look at this, another series object is here. Okay. But if I want in ascending, instead of the ascending, I want in descending order. Achha, actual series are not gets changed by writing this. Look at this, actual series is still in the same way. So if you want to display in ascending or descending order, so what you have to write, sort values, and here you have to write ascending is equal to false. What do we have to write? Ascending is equal to false. And look at this. Now we are getting in decreasing order. Earlier we are getting in increasing order, and this is the decreasing order. So these things you have to understand. Sort values, now you get it. Okay. And sorting, this is the sorting on the basis of the values. Okay. So you always understand the functions. What I have written here, I have written here sort values. There is a one more function, and that function is known as the sort index. There is another function that is known as the sort index. Sometimes it's happened that we are not giving the index in a proper way. We are not giving the index in a proper way. So you can use the sort index function here also. If you want to arrange the data on the basis of the index only, in an index should be arranged in ascending or descending order. Accordingly, we are getting the data here. So now look at this. I'm just showing you same syntax here also. You can pass the ascending and descending. Ascending is equal to true and ascending is equal to false. And by default, it is ascending. So now look at this. Here we are getting the value like 1, 0. So 1 is the before the 0. So I want this to be displayed in according to the index. So what I'm writing here, s dot sort index, s dot sort index. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sort index, and by default I told you it is in ascending order. So now look at this, zeros came before the 1. But if you want in a descending order, then what you have to do, simply you have to call here ascending is equal to false. Ascending is equal to false, and call this. And now look at this, we are getting the data on the basis of index position. I think you have to understand this. Is there any problem? Then you please put the message. Okay, so later I will see in a chat box. Okay, here look at this. This time it is in ascending, increasing order, and this is the decreasing order. Okay, so I hope you understand these everything. One more thing you have to understand, and that is the reindex. Sometimes you can reindex your data. If you want to reindex this something like this, then we can call the reindex method, and through that we can reindex the series object also. Okay, if you want to reindex it. Okay, And for that we can use the index also. We can use the index also, but there is a reindex method. Index is the attribute. So what happen if we are going to change the index of any series object, we can call s dot index equal to, and you simply provide the new index value. It's going to change the index of s. But suppose if you want to reindex your information, reindex means what? That look at this. Whenever you are writing s dot index, you want to change. You want to change. But what is the meaning of the reindex? We are going to use the same index. We are going to use the same index, but same index is used with different order. Same index is used with different order. Don't try to change the index. Don't try to change the index. Same index with a different order. If you are giving the any new index value, then automatically a nan value is created there. I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you. Just give a 1 minute to me. Okay. So suppose I'm going to create a temporary series object like this, pd dot series. Okay, pd dot series, and what I'm writing here, I'm writing 5 comma 3 comma 9 comma 10, and I'm going to give the some index value here, index, and this time I'm creating alphabetically index. Don't worry. A comma sorry, a comma b comma c comma d. Okay, so just try to understand everything. Okay, now I have a one t. Now I'm going to reindex it. So what I'm going to write, t is equal to t dot, or p is equal to t dot reindex. I'm not going to change this, just I'm writing the reindex. Okay, and in a reindex, what I'm going to provide, I'm going to provide here d. First I want d, then I want a, okay, then I want c, okay, and then I want b, then I want v. Okay, so this way I'm going to arrange it. Now look at the p. What happened? The data is arranged accordingly. Okay, you can check the t also. In a t there is no problem, but p are the different here. So you can do this way also. But if you want to modify, then you gotcha. Here one more thing. Now suppose this time I'm, instead of b, I'm writing b. I'm writing here t. I'm writing here t, or I'm writing here q. Suppose I'm writing here q, and now I'm typing here p. So look at this. What happened? Because in a t, q index are not available. In a t, q index is not available. So because it is not available, so what happened? In a p we are getting nan value. What we are getting? We are getting nan value here. Okay. Achha, there is a one more thing. We can use the drop also. Drop function is also available with this. So you must be know about this drop function. So what is the drop function? Normally it is used to remove. If you want to remove the any data value from that, you can use the drop function. Okay, but one thing you have to always understand is series is the value mutable. It is not a size mutable. It is not a size mutable. So let's see, can I, so now I'm writing here p, okay, and I'm writing here p dot drop. So with a drop I have to provide the index value, and I'm providing index a. So now look at this in the output. In the output, you can see that there is no a value is available here. A index is not available. But if I'm going to check the p, still it is available here. Why? Because it is a value mutable. It's not size mutable. So it's not allowed to remove the elements from the there. It's going to create a new series object. So if you want to remove from this, so we have to use the assignment operator, p equal to p dot drop a. And now you check the p. In this time you are seeing that what happened in this way. What is the difference between this statement and this statement? You have to understand what is the difference between this statement and this statement. Actually, this statement is temporal. What happened? It's trying to remove the a from the p, but actually it's trying to remove from this, and it's going to create a new series object. Suppose it is a, b, c, d. So what happened? It's going to create a new series that is b, c, d. Okay, and the output is shown here. But in case of, suppose you have written this statement, p equal to p dot this. So what happened? P is initially pointing this memory location. But after writing this statement, what happened? It's going to remove the element. It's going to create a new, and now p is not pointing this. P start pointing this location. P start pointing this location. So this way it's going to remove the element. So this is about the series object. So now we are going to talk about the data frame. Okay. So what we have to discuss about in a data frame, I'm just going to show you the revised syllabus. And I already told you that here only I copy the syllabus part. The revised syllabus part I have just copied from the syllabus. So data frame is mathematical operation is here, head and tail, everything is done. So now we are going to talk about the data frame, and the first thing in data frame we have to understand how you can create. The first thing is the creation. The first thing is the creations. How we can create the series object. Okay. So we can create the series through the dictionary of series, list of dictionaries, and text and CSV file, and then we have to display. So display is the not very difficult task here. Okay, so we can easily display it. And next is the iterations. We have to perform the iteration, iter rows and iter column. Remember that. And then we have to do some operations: add, select, delete, and rename, and then head and tail indexing and Boolean indexing. Okay, so using levels and these things. And at last, we have to learn about importing, exporting data between CSV files and data frames. How you can export and import the data from CSV and this. So these all things you have to understand. So now we are going to understand the data frame first. Okay. So as you know, what is the data frame? What is the data frame? Can anybody, if you know, you can just write in chat box. What is the data frame? The first thing you have to understand. So data frame, as I told you in a study also in a previous class, in a revision class, data frame is what? It is a popular data structure of pandas. First thing, if you don't know anything, if you're not able to write anything, then you have to make the some points so that the examiner is going to give you some marks. So what is data frame? The first thing you can say, it is a data structure. It is a famous data structure of pandas. Okay, the first point. It is a famous data structure of pandas. Okay. After that you write it's a two-dimensional data structure. It's a two-dimensional data structure. It's a two-dimensional data structure. बन गया 2 point. Okay. After that you can say it can contain heterogeneous data. It can contain heterogeneous data. Okay. Genius data, heterogeneous, not the homogeneous. Okay. Achha. Third point you can remember, it is a value mutable, and it is a size mutable. Okay. Okay. And it is the most popular, that is used to represent the records, to represent the table, something like this, because here the informations are stored in this way. This is called column index. This is called column index, C1, C2, C3. And there is a one more index, and this is not known as the row index. It is known as the index. It is called index. It is called column index. It is called, or you can say columns. It is called columns, and it is called index. Index means we are talking about the row index. We are talking about the row index. These things you have to remember always. And this is the columns here. Okay. So in this way, we can create the data frame. Achha, one thing you always understand, data frame is having, because it is a two-dimensional, so it's having the two axes. So axis equal to 0 and axis is equal to 1. Axis 0 means this is the row index. Axis 0 means this is the row index, and axis 1 means this is the column index. So these things you have to always remember. You will get the 1 marks question from here. Okay, which index is referred to what? Okay, so 0 is the row index and 1 is the column index. Okay, and missing value in a pandas is referred by the nan. Nan is used to represent the missing value. Okay, and all other values, whatever you have written here, these all things are known as the data values. These all things are known as the data values. This is your column index, this is your row index, this is the data value. Maybe possible, so you will get the nan value here. Row is known as the index 0, column is known as the index axis 1. Okay, now we are going to create and display the data frame. Look at this. To display the data frame, this is the nothing is there. Displaying is a very easy task. Simply after creation of data frame, you have to write the name of the data frame to display the data frame, or you can use a print statement to display the data frame. Okay, so it's not a big task. It's not a big task. It's a very easy task. You can do it easily. Getting my point? So now first thing, we have to create the data frame. So how we can create the data frame? Through the list, and through this you can create the data frame through the nested list also, or to the list of the dictionaries also. So there are different options through that. Suppose I am having a list. I am having a list L. Okay, and in a list L, I'm going to store the some value like this, and this list is the nested list 1 comma 2 comma 3. Suppose I'm creating the nested list. Okay, 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, and just this much. I'm not going to. What is the problem here? Oh, there is a. Oh, I forget to put the comma in between. So I have to put the comma here as a separator. So now my list is created here. This is the my list. Okay. Now I'm going to create a data frame. So this is the data frame one. And to create the data frame, we need to call a data frame method. Look at this, how we have to call the data frame. Okay. So here we are just simply providing the L here. So what happened? It's going to create the data frame. Look at this. My data frame is created here. You can easily understand this. My data frame is created here. What I did, first thing, I have created a one list here. I have created the one list here. Okay. Okay, I have created one list here, and this is the my list. This is the my list. You just try to understand. This is the my list. I've written here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the my list. Now through the list, this list is the 2D list. Why I have created 2D list? Because my data frame is the two-dimensional data. Data frame is also 2D okay, 2D structure. Now I'm going to call which method? I'm going to call a method. That method name is the data frame. The method name is the data frame. And because this data frame is belongs to the pandas library, so that's why I'm written here pd.dataframe. And now inside this, I'm simply pass the name of the list. My list name is the L. Here in this example, my list name is L. So I have passed the list name here as an argument. Okay, and because it's this statement is going to create a newly data frame, and I have to point it by any other object. So what I did, I have written the one object name here df1. So what happened in your computer memory? It's going to create a data frame in this way, and here this is the value. This is the value 456. So you just try to understand in this way. So this is your data frame, and this is your column index. This is your columns. You can say columns, or you can say column index. Don't say index only, because by default index means row index. By default index means row index. You can call row index, or you can write index only. So 0, 1 is the row index, 0, 1, 2 is the column index. So this index is created automatically on the basis of the data. If you are going to look at the list, this list is also having the two index here. This is called column index, and this is called row index. So from here only, it's try to get the index value, and it's give the index here. You can see here. You can see here. You can see here. Whenever you print the list, you are getting the output in this way. But whenever you print the data frame, you are getting the output in a two-dimensional way. Look at this. You can easily identify, okay, this is your row index and this is your column index. So that is the advantage of the data frame. So now you understand how you can create the data frame through the list. Next I'm going to show you I'm going to use a list that's having the different types of the value. Different types of value means that I'm going to create another list m equal to, and I'm going to create a list. Suppose I'm writing here 101, then I'm writing here Vikas. Okay, Vikas Yadav. Okay, and then I'm writing, suppose I'm giving the some float value here. Okay, this is the my one list. Another list, I'm pressing enter key, and now I'm writing the another list 156, and now here I'm writing Aditya Sarma. Okay, I'm writing Aditya Sarma, and then I'm writing here 8967.26. Okay, something, anything I can write here. Okay, so now my list is created. Okay, I'm just showing you the my list. What is the my list? The my list is containing this. Now I'm going to create the another data frame df2 pd dot. What I'm writing here, pd dot data frame, and I'm writing here m. I'm writing here m, and look at this. I'm pressing this df2, and look at this. I'm getting the output, and this is the, now you can observe this output carefully. You can easily understand this, how it's showing this. Look at this. Look at this. This is your column. This is your column, and this is your row. This is your row, and these all are the value. These all are the 101, 158, Vikas, Aditya, and value. Look at this. Each column is containing the different types of the value. This is integer value, this is a string value, and this is a float value. So that's why I'm saying the list is allowed, data frame is allowed to contain the heterogeneous data. Okay, getting my point? Now you understand ki how can create the data frame through the list. The next question is that if suppose I am having some dictionary and I want to create the list with the help of data frame with the help of the dictionary containing the list or something like this. So how you can do this? So now I'm going to show you some examples ki how you can use the dictionary to create your list. Okay, so it's visible. So now I'm going to create a dictionary D DC1 dictionary 1, and what I'm doing in a dictionary, I'm going to create one is the my name. This is the my name key. Okay, and in a name key I'm going to write name of you. Okay, Aditya, I'm writing here Aditya, sorry Aditya, and then I'm writing here Vikas. Okay, suppose I'm having two students here right now, so I'm just writing the two student name. This is the name column, name key, and then I'm writing here class. Okay, then I'm writing here class. In a class I'm writing, I'm giving the 12 comma 12. Okay, both are integer value. Okay, both are integer value. And next I'm going to write the another column, and what is another column? Fee. Okay, and in a fee I'm going to give some value here. In a fee I'm going to give some value like this 2500 comma 3500. Okay, and now I'm going to close the dictionary. So my dictionary is closed, and now I'm going to show you the dictionary. And now I want to create a data frame with the name of the df3, and I'm calling the method data frame. Look at this, all process are the very easy. I'm not doing the any other thing. I'm creating the dictionary, passing to the data frame. I'm creating the list, passing to the data frame. Okay, and now look at this, what happened. Name, all the name are here. Class, all classes are here. Fee, all fees are here. Aditya is studying in class 12, he has to pay 2500. Vikas is studying in class 12, he has to pay 3500. Both are having the different stream or different section like this, something like this. So this way we can create the data frame. Okay, so what is this example? This is the example of list contained by the dictionaries or list inside the dictionary. You can see that what I did here, this is the my dictionary, this is the key value, and this is the list. This is the list. This is the my list value. This value is given as a list. This is also a list. This is also a list. So now list is inside the dictionary. List is inside the dictionary. So this way we can use and create the data frame. So definitely look at this. I'm telling you, you will definitely get a question. That question is ask you to write the statements to create the data frame. Might be you will get the question in your board exam or application exam. They are provide the information in this way, and some column names are written here, and then some data is given here. So what they do, they can ask you ki now you write the command to create the data frame. So what you have to remember, क्या याद रखोगे यहाँ पे? You have to remember that कि ये कॉलम का जो नाम होगा ना, इसको डिक्शनरी का की बना देना. कॉलम का जो नाम होगा उसको डिक्शनरी का की बना. और नाउ यू ट्राई टू एक्सेस दिस कॉलम बाय कॉलम. पहले एक कॉलम, जैसे मान लो कि इफ यू आर लुक एट हियर केयरफुली, यहाँ पे ध्यान से देखो इस जगह पे, जस्ट पे योर अटेंशन हियर. इफ यू पे योर अटेंशन इन अ प्रॉपर वे, यू कैन इजीली अंडरस्टैंड दिस कि यहाँ पे अगर आप ध्यान से देखिएगा तो मैंने पहले नेम कॉलम क्रिएट किया. ये देखो, ये मेरा नेम कॉलम है, इसकी वैल्यू आदित्य और विकास आ गया. यहाँ पे दिख रहा है. यहाँ जो चीज आपको हॉरिजॉन्टली दिख रही है उस चीज को, सॉरी वर्टिकली दिख रही है उस चीज को मैंने यहाँ पे हॉरिजॉन्टली रिप्रेजेंट किया है. जो हॉरिजॉन्टली रिप्रेजेंट हुआ वो यहाँ वर्टिकली हो गया. सेकंड कॉलम क्या दिख रहा है हमें यहाँ पे? क्लास. अब देखो यहाँ पे क्लास इस तरीके से लिखा गया. थर्ड कॉलम क्या दिख रहा है? फी. ये हमें ऐसे दिख गया. तो इन अ बोर्ड क्वेश्चन यू आर गेटिंग हियर. देखो एग्जाम में वो आपको एक टेबल बना के दे देगा ऐसे कि नेम, फी, क्लास, और यहाँ पे कुछ डेटा लिखा हुआ है. तो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू दैट कि नेम को की बना दो डिक्शनरी का और इसको लिस्ट वैल्यू बना के दे दो नेम, इस की को. फी को की बना दो और इस वैल्यू को इसका लिस्ट बना के इसको दे दो. फिर इसका लिस्ट बनाओ, इस क्लास को दे दो. In this way, we can create the dictionary. Okay, sorry, data frame. In this way, first you have to create the dictionary, and then if you, whenever you go to pass the dictionary to the data frame, automatically I am passing the dictionary here only, nothing I am doing here. Automatically, we will get the respective data frame in a proper way. Okay, so now you understand ki how can you use. Sometimes we have to call the, we can create the nested dictionary inside the dictionary. We can use the dictionary inside the dictionary. So how we can do this? These things you have to understand. So one thing you have to understand is how it's going to store this 0 and 1. 0 and 1, this is on the basis of this. If you are going to understand, look at this. This is the key. This is the key. And this is the values. So this values is having, because this is the list, this list is having the position 0, 1. This is also 0 and 1 index position, 0 and 1 index position. This 0, 1 index position is coming here. Means outer indexes become the column and inner index become the row index. Now I'm going to show something tricky is here. So look at this. Suppose I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing with another method. I'm going to create another dictionary here. Just pay attention here properly, Aditya, and because those who are having here. Dictionary 2. Dictionary 2 is equal to, and what I'm writing, I'm going to write something. Pay attention here. Okay, I'm going to write here year 1 or FA1. Suppose I'm going to write here FA1. Okay, and now inside FA1, I'm going to write maths. Okay, and value 50. Okay, accounts. Okay, value 45. Okay, only 2 I'm giving. Okay, only 2 I'm giving, and then I'm pressing the enter key. Next, I'm writing FA2. Okay, FA2, and then I'm going to write again. I'm writing the maths, and I'm giving here 45. Okay, accountancy, and I'm writing here 60. I'm writing here 60. Now I'm closing this and look at this dictionary 2. Dictionary 2. Now I'm going to create the another data frame. Data frame 4 is equal to pd dot data frame, and here I'm going to call dictionary 2. So this time you just try to understand what happened. I'm writing df only, df4. So now look at this. What I told you, outer index work as a, what I told you earlier. Outer index becomes the column. So FA1, FA2 is the column name, but the inner index becomes the row number. So look at this row index. So maths and accounts become the row index, and FA1, FA2 become the column index. Okay, so I told you about that, how we can create the data frame by using the dictionary, by using the list of dictionary. That's I told you. And now in the same way we can use the numpy array. For that we have to create the 2D numpy array, or you can create the dictionary data frame with the help of the series also. In that we have to create the object of series, and that series object we have to pass as argument to the dictionary. So how you can do this? If you want to create the, just I'm going to show it here. Let us adjust the screen. So if I want to create the series with the numpy array, so I have to create the 2D array here. So I'm going to create a 2D array. Okay, and my keyboard is not working fine. So np dot array, and I'm going to pass a list of the 2D array here. List here 101, 102, 103. Okay, 201, 202, and 203. Okay, and 301, 302, 303. So this way we have to pass the list here as a argument to the array function, and it's going to create the 2D array. And now this 2D array we are going to pass to the data frame. Okay, a data frame object, and what I have to write pd dot data frame, and inside this we are going to write the arr, and it's going to create the data frame. Sorry, the name is wrong. So now my data frame is created. This is the column index and this is the rows index. Okay. So not so very difficult here. It's a simple task and you can do it very easily. The next thing, if we want to create the dictionary through the series object, then what we have to do? First we have to create the series. That is the series inside the dictionary. So I'm going to create the one series object like this. I'm going to create the one series student s2 st name. Okay, I'm writing here st name, and now I'm going to write the name of the some students in a series object. So I'm writing here series, and I'm going to pass the data here. Muskan, okay, and Vikas, okay, Tamanna. Okay, so there's two names, there's three names I'm just keeping here. So now my one series is created here. That name is the st name. Okay, and look at this. Now I'm going to create the another series object. Suppose I'm going to create another series object, that is the marks, and equal to marks equal to, I'm going to write here pd dot series. Okay, so here I'm going to provide the some marks here 25, 30, and 35. Suppose. Okay, so this marks I have given. So now I have the marks object also. This is the series object. Now I want to create a dictionary because I have to create the data frame. So I'm going to create the dictionary here, and now I'm going to write sorry. So now I'm going to write here name as a key. Okay, name as a key. Gaurav sir is joining the class. All of you say good morning to Gaurav sir. Name as a key, and then I'm passing the st name here, st name. Okay, and at the same time now I'm creating the marks. This is the key, and I'm passing the marks series object as argument here. Okay, so now you see the dictionary is created here, and then what we have to do, we want to we want to create the dictionary. Oh, sorry, data frame. So what we will do now, we are going to create the data frame, and I'm going to write the data frame, and this name of the data frame is df2, and I'm going to write here pd dot data frame, and I'm going to pass here dict. I'm going to pass here dict, and you can check your data frame is created like this. This is your column index. As I told you last time also, okay, the this is the, look at this. If you are look at this series is there. So these all are the inner index. These all are the series index. This is your series index. This is the series index, and this is the dictionary in key field. Okay, so the key, this is the outer. You can say this is the outer key. Outer key. So outer key becomes the column index. I told you also, and inner key become the row index. So inner key from the dictionary series it's taken as a row index, and this is the outer key, so it's become the column index. So these things you have to remember, because in exam they can ask us this. Maybe they have given this and they can ask the write the name of the columns, write the name of the index. Okay, so in that case you have to provide this, so don't be confused with it. So in this way we can create the dictionary. So sorry, data frame. Now you got it. And now we are going to talk about the attributes. Data frame is also having the, if you want to display the data frame, so what command we are going to use? The simple command in a Python, either you use the data frame name or you use the print statement. In a print statement, you provide the data frame as an object, you will see the output. So this way you can get the output here also. Okay, got it? Now we are going to talk about the attributes. What are the different attributes? As you know, whenever you create the series object, whenever you create the data frame object, this series and data frame is having their own attributes, and attributes is help us to find out the some values related to the data frame. Okay, like this, if we want to know about the index, then which attributes we are going to use? We are going to use the index column. Achha, one thing you have to understand, as in a data frame there are two index. There are two index. Okay, so this is the column index. This is called column index, or you can say columns. This is column index, or you can say this is the columns. Okay, and this is your row index, but it is known as the index. It is known as the index, or in, if you want to understand, if you're not able to remember, then you can remember it, this is the row index. So whenever you use the index attribute of data frame, it's always return row index value. What return? Row index value. But if you use the columns, we are getting the column index. It will return the column index value here. Okay. The other attributes are the axis. You can use the axis attributes also, and it will return the list representing both the axes. It will return the both axes. It will return the both axis value. Okay, means axis 0 and axis 1. What is the axis 0? I told you yesterday also. Axis 0 is refer to the index, and axis 1 is the refer to the columns. Okay, so these things you have to remember. The what is the another thing? Another thing is the data type. If we are going to check the data type, so data type returns the data type of data in the data frame. It's returned the data type of data in a data frame. The next is the size. Through the size, we can get the in representing the number of elements in the object. Number of elements in the object. If you are going to check the shape, it will return the tuple format in shape. Means it return the dimension of the your data frame. Means how many rows and how many columns are there. So this value we are going to get. But it's this output is always in a tuple format. What is the next? Next is the values. Values returns the numpy representations. It gives the output, means whole data frame you will get in a numpy array format. It's return the value in a numpy array. Okay. So there is a one question is it's important for this. So this attributes you must be remember. Okay, which attributes we have to use to get the numpy representations of data frame. Okay. One is the empty. Empty. If you want to check, the data frame is empty or not. For that purpose, we are using the empty attributes. And dim, there is a one attributes also, that is the important and dim, that is return the number of dimension, and it is always 2. If you are going to use and dim with the series object, you are getting 1, but here you are getting 2. Okay, and one more is the most important, that is called transpose of the data frame. If you want to transpose, then for that purpose we are using the T attribute. Okay, so what is the meaning of the transpose? Transpose means row is going to convert in a column, column is going to convert in a row. Okay, so whole representations are going to change. This, if I am going to transpose this, so we are getting the output like this: 101, 102, 103. 201, 202, 203, 301, 302, 303. So this output you are getting. This output you are getting in this way. Okay. So now I'm going to show you one by one quickly, so that we have to complete the so many process. And if I'm not able to complete in this class, so you have to join the class again after just taking the 5 to 10 minutes break. Only 5 minutes break. Okay. So now I'm going to, I have a 2 data frame df2 and I have a 1 data frame df only. So now I'm going to write df index, and you just look at here, df index is returning the df index, and at the same time I'm writing here, I'm pressing this command enter key here and delete this, and I'm adding df1 index. So you can see what is the problem. There is a df, oh sorry, df2, sorry. It's no df1 is there, df2. So now you look at this is the df2 index, because it's giving the row index, and row index is given by automatically here also and in this also. So that's why it's written like range index. But if you had given it explicitly, it's through your data, it's going to assign the row index. In that case, it's giving that value only. So now look at the column index. If I'm going to, in case of the index, I'm going to write here column. So what output we are getting here? Look at this, name and marks. This is the index here. Okay. Next is the axis. If I'm going to write here df2 dot axis, you can see after giving the dot, you can find out the context menu is automatically open. It's showing you the help also. So through this, now it's showing the first the row index. This is the row index, and this is the column index. So both indexes you are getting through the axis. Okay. Data types. If I'm going to write here data type, so df2 dot d type. So sorry, I have to use here types, data types. Okay, s, don't forget the s here. So now it's showing that name, there are 2 columns. So what is the data type of name? It is object. What is the data types of the marks? It is integer. Okay, and the whole data type is what? That is the object always, because we have given the mixed value here. But I'm going to check the df data types, because in df the all values are numeric only. So look at this. This is the, because it is the numpy array, so that's why it is showing the integer 32, integer 32, integer 32, and at last it is an object. Now we have to check the size. So I'm going to write here size df2 dot size. So look at this. The total number of elements are 6. Why 6? Because it's having the 3 rows 2 columns. So total number of elements, that is the 6. If we are going to check df2 dot shape, so it's giving the output 3 rows, 2 columns. It's always in the tuple format. First refer to the row, number of rows, and second refer to the number of columns. Okay. After this, if we want to numpy representations of this, so we have to write down the df2 dot values. Now look at this. This is the numpy array. So it's giving the output in the form of the numpy array. Okay. You can store it also if you. Yeah. So through this we can get the numpy representations of. So as I am telling you, you can use the values to get the numpy representations of your data frame. Okay. Now, if you want to, what is this next? Next is the empty. Empty is used to check the empty data frame. Suppose I am going to create the df3 is equal to, and now I'm writing here pd dot data frame, and I'm not going to pass any arguments here. So what happened? This is the empty. So if I check the here df3 dot empty, I'm getting the true value. But in case of the df2 dot empty, if I'm going to write, I'm getting the false value here. Why I'm getting the false value? Because this is not empty here. The one is the number of dimensions. I told you number of dimension is always with a data frame it is 2, and number of dimension with the series is always 1. Okay, so these things you have to remember. Now we are going to talk about the transpose. So look at this. This is your actual data frame, and I'm going to write the transpose of data frame. So look, the row is becomes the column here. 101, 102. That is becomes the 101, 102. Look at this. Okay, 201. First, this is the row, and now it is becomes the column here. So that is the transpose. If I'm going to use the df2 dot this, we can get the value in this way. What is the actual data frame? It is looks like this way, and now after transposing we are getting the output in this format. Okay, sometimes they can ask you by which function you can get the number of rows in your data frame. So for that purpose we are using the len function. By using the len function you can count the number of rows. It's always return the number of rows, remember that. Okay, there is a count function also. We are using the sometime count functions with the data frame. So what is the use of the count function here? The count function used to count the non-nan value. Non-nan value means not a number value. Means suppose if there is, if I'm looking at this, and if suppose there is any value is the nan, in that case it's going to ignore this. If it is nan here, then it's going to count function is going to ignore this. Okay, so we can use the count functions to count the number of nan value, and you can use it by row wise and you can use it by the column wise also. So by default it's going to count by row wise. Okay, so if I'm writing like this, count, look at this, how many values are there. In a name there are 3 values, in a marks there are 3 values. Why? Because there is no nan value is there. Okay, but if there is any nan value, then it's going to reduce the counter. Okay, if you want to count column wise, so what, this is the row wise, so I'm going to count the column wise. So what I have to use here 1, and now you can see now it's giving the data according to the column wise data. Okay, so this way we can use the, so you can use the axis column also. Instead of this count 1, you can write here axis 1, you can write here axis columns, you can write here axis index. So this is also allowed here, means axis equal to index, we can write like this way also. So this is also allowed here. So in this way you can use this. So this is about the attributes of the data frame. So what are the different attributes and how you are going to use it. Next, there is some things you have to understand how to access the particular element. Suppose sometimes they can ask you to display the particular columns, to display the particular rows. Okay, so how we can do this? If you want to display the particular columns, we have to use the dot notation. Which notations we have to use? We have to use the dot notations to display the particular column. Like this, if I want to display the only the name column of the data frame, so what I have to write? df2 dot name. What I have to write? df2 dot name. I have to write df2 dot name there in that case. Okay, but 1 minute. Who is in waiting room? No one is. Okay, so in this way we can access the data, df2.name, df2.marks. So this way we can access the individual columns data here. Okay, now I'm going to show you like this. I'm writing here df2 dot df2 dot name. I'm writing here. So look at this. It is the name. Acha, one thing we have, I'm going to tell you, if I'm going to check the df2 dot name, I'm going to check the data type of df2 dot name. So look, see, what is the data type of this? This is the series type. So it's always give the output in the form of the series. It's always give the output in the form of the series. And we all know if we want to access the particular value of the series, we are using the index. So if I use this whole data in this way, then what happened? Then what happened? I'm getting the name 0, means now I'm going to show you. So you just try to understand it carefully. Okay, because if you are accessing this is the series. This is the series, and this name is written at the 0 index position. This name is written at the 1 index position. This name is written as the 2 index position. If I'm accessing this column, then this is the another series. This 25 is written at 0. This 25 is here. Suppose this is the name of the series is the marks. So I want to access the marks of 0 position. Then what I have to write? Marks of 0. Okay. If I want to access this, then what I have to write? Marks of 1. Okay. If I want to write, then what I have to write? Marks of 2. So in the same way, I can write like this with df2 dot marks. So df2 marks is the name of this series, and now I'm going to access the 0 position. So it's giving the 25. So this way we can access the individual element. Okay. If we want to access the individual element, we can use here. That is the basic concept. That is the basic concept of accessing the individual value, or basic concept of accessing the individual columns. If you want to access the individual columns, we are using this concept only. Okay. Now, if suppose you want to access the multiple columns or something like this, then we have to provide the name of the column. Suppose I want to access the multiple columns. So what I have to do, I have to provide the name of the columns as a list argument. As a list argument, look at this, what I'm doing here. I'm writing here name and marks all together in this way. And you can observe this marks and name are written as a list argument. Okay, so it is given in a square bracket as a list, and we can get the value like this. So these things also you have to remember. This is the very important for us. Okay, now there is some more functions which you have to understand, that is about the selections, but selection, indexing, Boolean indexing using levels. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the operations, but before going to talk about the operations, I'm going to tell you there is one more function that we have to must be know, that is called log and add function, and ilog and iadd function. This help us to accessing the individual rows and individual columns. If we want to access the individual rows, individual columns, these functions we can use. And sometimes we can use the slice concept also. We can use the slice concept also. Through the slicing, we can also access the individual rows or individual columns in a data frame like this. If I'm writing here df0 comma 1, so look at this, it's showing the 0 row, it's showing the 0 row. So this is the slicing concept. Okay, so now I'm writing here df2 and I'm writing here 0 comma 2. So what happens? 0 and 1 rows, 2 rows data we are getting here, 2 rows data we are getting here. So through that we can also access the individual. But suppose if I want to access the individual column, I want the 2 row output, but I want only suppose I'm writing here 0 comma column 2, and now here with the log function, now I'm going to tell you what is the use of the log function. Log function is used to access the individual rows. If you want to access the individual rows, we have to write down this way. So I'm writing here log 0. So what happened? I'm getting the 0 row positions data. Okay, this is the 0 1 2. First I have to check that what is written here. Yeah, look at this. This is the log 0. This is the log 0, 101, 102, 103. So I'm writing here log 0. I'm getting the 1 row access. If you want to access the particular column, we are using this concept. Sorry, df2 dot name. df2 dot name. Okay, but if I want to access the particular row, then what we have to use? We have to use this concept also, df2 dot log 0. Okay, and we are getting that particular row information. Acha, there is one more thing. We can use this concept also. No, this is not working. This is not working. If I'm giving this way, then it is not working here. Look at this. But if I'm giving this way and I'm writing the name of the column here, marks only, then it is working. Then it is working. Means through column you can access, but through row you can't access this. Okay. So now you understand what is the use of the log function. Log function is going to use to access the individual. Meeting is going to end within 10 minutes. So you have to join after the 5 minutes the same meeting again. Okay. So what we are going to do, df2 dot log, and I'm writing here the name of the column 0. And if I want to access the any other column, so I can write the any other column also, other row number also. In this way, we can access the, okay, 0 to 1. 0 to 2 I have given, so it's including the 2 here also. It's including the 2 here also. Remember that it is not a slice. It is just like a start row and end row. It is just like a start row and end row. To this we can mention the column name also. You can put the comma here, and now you can mention the column name also. We can use the column name also. I want only column marks information. So look at this. I'm getting the only marks information of this. If you want to access the name information, you just write the name here also. So what is the actual syntax of df lock? This you have to understand carefully. Here, what is the actual syntax of this? The actual syntax of the lock is DataFrame dot lock. First, we are making the start row. I'm writing S row, then colon, end row. Both are including comma, start column, and colon, end column. So this is the syntax of the lock functions. We can give the start row, end row, comma, okay, a start column, end column. Remember that it is not like a slice, so it's going to include everything. If you want to access the entire row, you put this. You want to access the entire column, you put this. Then it's going to give the entire row and entire column. If you want to just I want only entire row but selected column, then mention the column name here. If you want the selected row but entire column, either you leave it as a blank, you don't write anything, or you can write the column row number here, then put the comma and just put the column here. So this way we can access the all columns selected row, all columns selected row, all row, all columns, all rows, selected columns, all rows, all columns, and this is the actual syntax of the lock function. So these things you have to remember. Now, if we want to use the ilock, there is a integer locations functions also, that is known as the ilock. We can use the ilock also. This is known as the integer location, okay, through numeric index position. But remember that whenever we are using the through numeric positions, this is using the concept of the slice. This is using the concept of the slice. So what happened with the lock function? With the lock function, start and end all index are included. Whatever you are given a start, that is also included. Whatever you are given in end, that is also included. Okay. But with the ilock, because it is just like a slice, so it's going to exclude the end. It's going to exclude the end. This is the very important thing you have to remember. Okay. But what is the advantage of ilock? Ilock is based on the slice concept. So you have to give the start, row, colon, start, and row, comma, start column, colon, and column. This is the syntax of this. But only one thing you remember, this is not included. This is not included in output. This is also always excluded. So these things you have to remember. Now I'm going to show you some example of that. So we have a small data frame. We have a small data frame. So what I'm going to do, df2, and now I'm writing here. Just I'm writing first df2.log. Okay, try to understand. It's good thing. See, I'm using this concept here. So what happened? 0 column 2 I've given. So 0 row, 1 row, 2 row. All row is including. Now instead of this, I'm going to write here ilog. ilog. And look at this. It's giving only 0 and 1. It's giving only 0 and 1. So now it's clear to you. So I hope you understand this. And if I want a particular column also here, so I give the 0 colon 1. So it's giving only the name value. It's giving only the name value. Look at this. 0 colon 1. It's giving only name value. So that is the difference between lock and ilock. Achha, one more thing is that can I use this syntax here? 0 colon 1. I'm getting an error message. Why? Because lock is based on the indexes. Lock is based on the index. In this case, I have to give the proper index value here. The one thing you have to understand with data frame df2, the row index in a number, and this is the position also. This is the number and this is the position also. But the column index is on the basis of the name here. So if we are using the lock function, I have to give the name of the column here. I have to give the name of the column. Okay, name name. I can use like this way, and we are not getting an error message. So that is the use of the lock and iLock. Now you understand this. Individual value, I already told you how to access the individual value. If you want to access the individual value, we have a one more important function is there. There is a one function, there is a one basic concept of that. If you want to access the individual, so we can use this concept also, name, and we can write 0 index and 1 index, we can get this. There is a one function, there is a one function, through that we can access the individual element. And what is the name of the function? That function is known as the at and I@. There is a two function, at and I@. Okay, at, that is based on the index, row level and column level. That is based on the row level and column level. Okay, these things you have to understand, row level and column level. And this is based on the row index number and column index number. Here we have to use the number because it is the integer at, okay, and column index number means you can say this is on by the position. You can say this is by position. I at I, if I is included, this is by position, and this is by index. This is by index, either row or column index, either row or column index. So this thing you have to understand. Now I'm going to show you how we are going to use the at and I@. So now I'm writing here df2 dot at, and here I'm giving 0. I'm giving here 0, and now I'm writing here name. I'm writing here marks, 0 comma marks. Okay, so look at this. I'm getting the data here. And if I want to access the marks, so what is the index position? Position, if you are going to check the position, then what is the position? This is the position 0, this is the position 1. And if I want to access this, then what I have to write? I have to write 0 comma 1 with what? With I@. With I@, I have to write 0 comma 1. So what I'm going to write here, I'm going to write here df2 dot I@, and I'm going to write 0 comma 1, and now I'm getting the same value. So that is the difference between at and I@. Okay, so now we are going to talk about how to add row and columns in your existing data frame. Okay, so this is also important topic for you. You must be aware about this, how we can going to add. So now you can see that we have a data frame which name is the df2. Okay, and this data frame is having only two columns. One is the names and second is the 1 minute. One is the name and second is the marks. Okay, so two columns we are having with this data frame. Now we want, suppose we want to add one more column, and that name of the column is suppose class. Suppose class. I want to add one class here. Okay. 1 minute. Hold on. Okay, so as I told you, there are only two columns are existing in a name column and marks column. Now I want to add one column for the class. Okay, in the existing column. So how we can add the add column? Now we have the two things: how to add the columns and how to add the row in existing data frame. If you want to add the column, there are three methods. There are three ways through which we can add the column. Just writing the name of the column here in a square bracket, the first thing. Second, we can call the add function. We can call the add functions and provide the name of the column here. Provide the name of the column here. Third, we can call the log function and provide the name of the column here. Add and log function we can use. There is a one more function that is known as the assign function. So through this assign function also we can add the new column. Okay, so now we can we come to know this is the column name, this is the column name, this is the column name, and here also we have to provide the name of the inside the assign functions. What we have to do, we have to write down the name of the column, name of the column. Here we have to write down the name of the column with name of the column here and with their new value. We have to provide this. Okay. Now, how to add the row? If we are going to add the row, then there is a options of that. We can, for adding row, we have a two functions. One is that we can use the add, and second is that we can use the, sorry, not row. Second is we can use the log function. Okay. So these functions are used to perform to add the row and column. Look at this, at and log is the common here. So at least you have to remember anyone this. And regarding this, you have to always remember this. The assign function is not used to assign a value. It is used to create a new column in a existing data frame. These things you have to remember. Okay. How we can use the at? You can use the at by providing the row name here. Row name, you can say row index or row name, whatever the index is there, accordingly you have to provide the row name here. And then we have to put the column here. Okay, and now give the value here. Then in the same way we can use the log also. In the same way we can use the log also by providing the row name, comma, and this option. Okay, and providing the new value as a list. Always remember that, providing the new value as a list. Now there is a two possibilities. There is a two things are there. What is the first thing? The column name you have mentioned here, the name of the column which you have mentioned here. If suppose this is the existing column, this is the existing column. This column is already existing in your data frame. Then this command is not going to do the add operation. This command is working as a modify operation. The same command is used for the modify in case of the column are already exist or your row is already exist. Either your row or columns are already exist, then the same command is used for the modify. Same command is used for the modify. Okay, so now you understand how we can do. Select, I already told you how you can select this. Means for the selecting, what we are using? We are using the at, we are using the iat, we are using the log, we are using the ilog. So this function I already told you for the selection. This is called selection of the particular column or row. Okay, now we are going to talk about the add. So how we can add? We can add by using this function add, log, assign if it is column, or you can write the name of the column directly inside the square bracket, or you can do the adding of row by using the at and log function by providing this syntax. Okay, but there is a one condition कि if that particular row, which row name you have written here, which column name you have written here, if it is already existing in your data frame, in that case it is not going to add new, it's going to update. So these things you have to understand carefully. Okay, Achha, second thing you have to understand in this case कि while you are writing the value to the column, you can give the scalar value. You can provide the scalar value while you are updating the column. What is the meaning of a scalar value? We can give only one value here. We can give only one value here. If you are giving only one value, suppose I am adding a one column, this is the name of the class here, and I am giving the only 12th. Then what happened? All row are getting the 12th here. All row are getting the 12th here automatically. Okay, all row are getting the 12th here automatically. But if there are 3 rows and you are giving the only 2 values, in that case you are getting the value error. So these things you have to remember. Either आप तो स्केलर वैल्यू दो या आप कंप्लीट नंबर ऑफ वैल्यूज प्रोवाइड करो. तो इस दो चीजों को आपको सिर्फ ध्यान रखना है. दिस थिंग्स यू हैव टू रिमेंबर, ऑलवेज रिमेंबर. So now you understand generally we are using the at and log function and syntax is the same. Before the comma we are mentioning the row name, and after the comma we are mentioning the column name. If you are going to change the column, then put the column here. If you are going to put the change the row, then put the column at the column position. These things. This is the very tricky points that you have to remember that. Now I'm going to do this add operations. So now I'm showing you df2 and my df2 is having this column. So now I'm going to add the one column df2 and what I'm doing, I'm writing here class. I'm writing here class and now I'm going to provide the class 12. I'm going to provide class 12 only. So now you can check df2. What happened? Class is added here and all are getting the 12th value. All are getting the 12th value. The another option is that I can write df2 and instead of the, now I'm going to write here section. Now I'm going to write here section. Okay. And or a stream, I can say a stream or section, whatever you want to write, you can write here. Okay. And now here I'm going to write the value. So I'm giving the signs and I'm giving the commas. Okay, only two values I'm giving. I'm getting an error message. Why I'm getting error message? Because there are three rows. There are three rows and I'm giving the only two values. So that is the problem here. That is the problem here. So what I have to do, I have to add, I have to write down in this way a stream. Okay, and now this time I'm not going to this concept, I'm going to use the another concept because already you understand how can use the this format. So the another method I'm going to use at here, I'm putting the column here, now I'm putting the comma here, now I'm giving the next new column name, that is the stream. Okay, I'm closing this, I'm giving the equal sign, and now I'm going to go provide the value. So one is the signs, second is the commas, okay, and third is the humanities or arts. Okay, so this section I am providing here, and now you check the df2 column is added here. Column is added here. Now I'm going to add one more column through the log function, through the log functions. And what I'm doing, I'm putting the column for the row because I'm not going to make a change in a row, so I'm putting this here. Next, I'm giving the another column here. So what is the another column? Class section. I'm just giving the mobile number. So I'm writing here mobile, and here I'm going to provide a mobile number here, and mobile number I'm just giving the 2-digit mobile number. Don't worry. Okay. So I'm just writing because I have to write len. I'm not going to write everything in a detail. Okay, so this way I'm going to add another column and you can check. So three columns are added here. Three columns are added here. Look at this. One is the class, second one is the class, second is the stream, third is the mobile. So what the syntax I have used? I have used the first syntax like this, df2 is stream, suppose. Second, I'm using df2 dot add, and I'm writing here class. Yeah, I know. Okay, class I have added it this way. So that is the wrong way. No problem. You just remember. And next, I'm using this concept colon. So yes. Now log colon and comma, and here I'm writing the mobile number. So this way I'm using and I'm giving the value. Okay, so there is two options, either you give the scalar value or you give the specified number of values. So this way you can add the new columns. So now I hope you understand how can add the columns. Then what is the next task? The next task I'm going to add the new row. I'm going to add the new row. So what method we are going to do? Achha, one thing I want to show. Now I want to change it. I want to change. So what I'm going to do? I'm writing add. I'm giving the column, and now I'm writing here class. I'm writing here class. Okay, so I'm going to modify it. I'm going to modify it. So instead of class 12, I'm writing 11th class, I'm getting 12th class, and I'm giving the 10th class. Okay, so now look at this and check the df2. It's working fine. Class change. Okay, in the same way you can use the log also. Now I'm going to add the row. So how we can add the row? Adding row. What we are going to do? Adding row. And what I told you, how we can add the row? Yes, yeah, that's great. Very good. So how you can add the row? Adding row can be done. Adding row can be done. Adding, or you can say modify. Adding, and you can say modify. So what the syntax? We have to use add and we have to use log. And here we have to provide the row name. Yeah, and then colon and then the value whatever you want. And here also you have to provide the row name. Okay, then colon and then the value you want to add. Okay, so now let's move and check it. Okay, what we will do here. So now I'm going to write here df2 dot. First I'm pressing enter key. Yeah, df2 dot and log, and I'm giving the next column number because here I'm maintaining the number. So I'm giving the 3 comma colon. Let's I see it's working or not. So what is this? First is the name. So here I'm writing name Saloni, and then I'm giving the marks 32, and then I'm giving the class, I'm writing 12, then I'm giving the stream, I'm giving signs, and then I'm giving the mobile number 96. Okay, so this way I'm going to add the one more row, and let's check the row is added here. Row is added here. If suppose I want to change the Muskan information. So what I'm doing this time I'm showing you the another method add, and I'm going to change in the 0 colon and comma colon equal to what I'm going to change. I'm not going to change in the name. Yeah, I'm going to change in the name also. I'm going to write Muskan Yadav. Okay, I know she is not Muskan Yadav, so don't mind. Okay, now I'm giving the score, and I'm giving the class, I'm giving the stream, and I'm giving the mobile number. So mobile number I'm giving 9898, something like this. And now look at this, and data is modified. So look at this, data is changed. So now you understand how can do the add and how can do the modify. So add and modify we can do with the same command. The only concept is that if that particular row number or particular column number is already existing, then it is work as a modify, and if particular row and column is not exist in your data frame, then it is work as a add. Getting my point? So that is the basic concepts of doing adding row and these things. Okay, so now Vishad is joined the class so late. Okay, no problem. So now we are moving on the next concept. And what is the next concept? After adding and modifying, we are going to single cell. If you want to modify a single cell, how we can modify a single cell? If suppose you want to modify the single cell, then we can use the iat method to modify the single cell like this. And by the iat method, we have to use or we can use the dot column name and this also. So there are different methods we can use. Either you use the this method also, column name, and then the row index. You can write here row index and you give the new value. So it's this way you can change the particular marks of this. Suppose I want to change it. Which value I want to change? 1 minute. Wait. So I want to suppose I have df2 this and I want to change the marks of Vikas. So what I have to change the marks of Vikas. So look at this. So marks of Vikas I can change df2 dot marks. Now what is the index is there? 1. What is the index is there? 1 is equal to I'm writing here 36. Suppose enter. So we are getting a warning message. This is the warning message. This is not the anything else. So it's changed. And there is what is another process is dot iat. And now I'm writing here 1 comma 0 1 1 comma 1 and is equal to I'm giving here 40. And let's see it's working now. Yeah, it's working. And this time we are not getting any error message. So now there are two processes through which we can change the individual value. Okay, one by writing the name of the row, column and providing the row index and then the new value, and second by using the iat row index and column index and giving the value. Okay, in this time we are getting the warning message, but this time it's not giving the warning message. So that is the difference with this, but you are able to make a change there also. So now we have understand how can add, as well as I told you how can modify also, how can select. This is done. Now the time to do the delete. And rename. So how we can do the delete operations and how we can do the rename operations. So first we are going to understand the delete. So how you can do the delete operations. For the deletions we have to use, there are two methods that can be used for the deletion. One is the most important method, that is, this is a universal command. This is the universal command for the Python, and with the help of this you can delete anything. You can delete a variable also, you can delete the list, tuple, numpy array, anything you can delete. And through this we can delete a particular column also. So what we have to do, del data frame, and which column you want to delete, just write the column name here. This is the deleting a column. If you want to delete a column, we can use this concept here. If you want to delete. But if you want to delete a row, row, if you want to delete a row, then what you have to do for that, we are not using the del statement. Del statement cannot be used for the deleting row. So how we can do this? We can do this through the drop method. Which method? Drop method. Remember, this drop method is with the MySQL also. And here also we are getting the drop method, okay? And it is used with the series object also to drop the series element. Remember this, okay? So what we can do this, we can use the drop method, and through drop also we can delete. So how we are going to use this is the data frame dot drop, and here we have to write index, or you can write sequences of the index. Sequences of the index means which row you want to delete, you can delete this, okay? So like this, and sometime we can use the axis argument also if you want. By default it is working with the row. By default it is working with the row. Why? The default axis value is 0, but if I'm providing the axis value is 1, then it's going to work with the column. Then it's going to work with the column. So through this also we can delete, okay? Through drop method is a universal, through that you can delete the column also and this also. Okay, so now let's see, we are going to check is it we are able to delete or not. So now wait here, and I'm giving the some command df2 dot. First I'm going to del statement. So del df2, and what I'm going to delete, I'm going to delete the mobile number because nothing is important information is there, and thus let's check df2 mobile number is deleted. Now I'm going to drop. I'm going to drop, and what I'm going to drop? I want to drop. I want to drop a row of Saloni. So what I'm writing? I'm writing 0 only. Sorry, Saloni, no Muskan. So I'm writing here 0. And let's see, Muskan is deleted. Muskan is deleted here. It's a very easy, but it's not deleted permanently from the data frame. That is the difference between del statements and the drop statements. If you are using the drop statements, it's not remove the records permanently from there. It's just create a new data frame. That data frame does not contain that deleted records. But in case of the del statements is delete, it's a do the work in place. It's a changing at in place. So it's delete that particular column from the actual data frame. Okay, so if you want to remove the records from here and you want to keep it here also, so what a statement, instead of this we have to write like this: df2 is equal to df2 dot drop. Then it's going to remove from there because it's not deleting, it's actually creating and assigning. That concept is there. So I'm not going to remove the any one record. Now if I want to remove the more than one record, then what I have to do, can I use this slice operation here? Let's see, it's an error here. So what I have to do, I have to put this information inside this, and now it's working. No, it's not working. So what we have to do, we have to write down the comma here, and let's check it's working or not. Yeah, through that we can specify the which row index we want to delete. So I'm writing 0 and 2, so it's deleting the 0 row and it's deleting the 2 row. Okay, but at the same time, if I want to drop the column through this command, so can I use here like this, axis is equal to 1, this much only, or we are getting error message? Might be we are getting error message. Why we are getting error message? Because that 0 and 2 column is not existing. The column name is the name and marks. So what we have to write, we have to write here df2 dot drop, and then we have to write here column name. Suppose I want to delete the name. It's not deleting permanently, so don't worry. And I'm writing here axis equal to 1. Okay, and check this. Now it's working fine. So it's deleting. So now you understand how can delete. So delete operation is over. So what is left? The next topic is the rename. The next topic is the rename. So how we can rename a column or a row index? If you want to rename the rows and columns, what command we have to use? Now this command we are going to discuss. So to rename the columns and anything, for the rename row and column, what we have to do, we have to use the rename functions. We have to use the rename function for this, and rename function is need index. The rename function is need index is equal to, okay, and one value we have to provide here, one value we have to provide. Second, it needs columns, and here again we have to provide the one value, or there is a one more thing is there, that is called in place. and by default in place is if it is true, by you can give the value true or false. You can give the value true and false. By default it is false. So if it is in place is true, then it's going to make the change at the actual place. Otherwise it's not change at the actual place. Now the second thing is that with this index and columns, we have to provide a value here, and that is called name dictionary. We have to provide here name dictionary, and here also we have to provide the name dictionary. What is the meaning of the name dictionary? Name dictionary means we have to provide the dictionary like this way: old column name, okay, colon, new column name. What is the new column name you want? And what is the old column name? Which old column is replaced with the what new column? So these things we have to provide it here through that. Okay, index is used for the row index, for the row changing. Columns is used for the column changes. We can use anyone and we can use both together. It's up to you how you are going to use it, and in place just tell us that you want to change, the changes are applied on the same memory locations, or you want to create the new one. So that is the purpose of this rename command. So now I'm going to show you how we can do this rename command. Let's see here properly. Okay, so now what is the my df2? My df2 is having everything here. So now I'm going to rename the first column. So what I'm going to write, df2 dot rename, and here I'm writing here columns. I'm not going to change in the index, I'm going to change in a columns. Okay, and now what I'm doing, I'm going to write here equal to sign, and here the old name is name, and here I want a name in a capital letter. Achha, this much only I want to give. Just I want to check. And I'm not going to do the in place changing anything. So let's see. You can observe that it is now it's showing the name here instead of this name. You can see it's showing the name here. Okay. So this is fine. In place, because if I'm going to show you df2, you will find this is not the permanent changes in a df2. Why? Because I have not written in place equal to true. Okay. Instead of this, now I want to change this zero index, and I want to write zero. I want to write here zero. So what I'm writing here, df2 dot rename, and here I'm using index is equal to, and I'm giving 0, and I'm writing here zero. Okay, and I'm closing this, and now you check this df2 is now it's showing here 0. Okay, again I'm telling you this is not in place. Okay, so if you want to do all together, suppose I want to change index also, I want to change column also. So what I will write here, columns is equal to, and I want to change only the name column. So what I'm writing here, name. Okay, and I'm giving the name in a capital letter. Caps lock should be on. So meeting is going to end. So we will do the next meeting also. Today we are revising the whole syllabus. So be ready for this. Don't worry. Don't think about anything else. Name. So name, we are writing the name. Okay. And we're closing this. And this time I'm using in place. This time I'm using in place is equal to true. Okay. So now I'm using in place equal to true. And everything is fine, and I'm pressing the enter key. So now, now it's, look at this. Okay, it's changing in the actual place. Achha. Look at this. I'm just showing the df2, and it's changing here also, and it's changing here also. So that is the difference here, and that you can understand. Okay, so how you can rename, now you got it. So this is the renaming of columns. So rename is done. So now I have done the rename, add, delete, everything basic operations done. What left? Now we are going to talk about the head and tail methods. So let's see what is the head and tail. It is not very difficult. It is similar to the, I don't think so it is required to discuss with you head and tail function, because you all are aware about this. The head and tail is used, head function is used to return the top 5. By default, it returns the top 5 rows. top 5 rows, and tell is used to return or get the 5 bottom rows. Okay, this is the 5 bottom and this is the top 5 rows. But we can provide the some number with the head function also, and we can provide the some number with the tell function also. If you provide the number, it means a specified number of rows it can return from the top, and number of rows it can return from the bottom. Okay, right here df2 dot head, and I'm not giving anything. So look at this, all rows, because it's a less than 5 rows, so that's why it's looks like this, all rows are showing, but in actually it's showing only 5 rows. Now I'm going to write something df2 head, and I'm giving here 3 or 2, or I want only top 2 rows and I want only bottom 2 rows. So for that purpose we are using this concept. So that is the use of the head and tell function. Okay, so this is over here. Now what is left? Boolean indexing. What is the meaning of the Boolean indexing, and what is the meaning of this? So now I'm telling you, Boolean indexing means we are giving the index value in the form of the true and false. If you are giving the index value, either true or false as an index, or you can say 1 or 0, then this types of indexing is called Boolean indexing. This types of indexing is called Boolean indexing. Okay, what is the importance of Boolean indexing? The importance of Boolean indexing is that you can access, you can categorize the rows and columns in a group. You can categorize the rows and columns in a group. If you want, instead of this true false, you can write any other two similar value also. You can give A or B, you can give C or D, you can give 5 or 6. Means what? We want to categorize it. We want to categorize the data frame in a two groups, and for that purpose, we are using the two similar values as an index. So what is the advantage of this? Advantage of this, if you are going to access the particular, suppose I am going to access the only true columns. So what happens? Whatever the all true columns we are getting in a one go. If we are getting accessing the all true rows, then all true rows we are getting in a one go. So this is the advantage of specifying the index value as a true and false. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the index value of true and false like this here only. I'm going to show, suppose my df2 is there. Look at this df2. This index is this. So I'm writing here df2 dot rename. I'm writing here df2 dot rename, and now I'm using here columns is equal to, and I'm writing here 0, 0, and I'm giving here true. I'm giving here true. Okay, what is the next column? Next column is 1. So I'm giving here false. Okay, not false. Don't write in a false in a single quote and double quote. What is the next row index? Sorry, instead of columns, I'm going to write here index. Wait, I'm going to write here index. Okay, so 2. What is the 2? 2 is I'm giving true here. I'm just giving the true, or I'm giving the false here, suppose. And now what is the next? Next is the 3. So 3 I'm giving the true. 3 I'm giving the true. Okay, and what I want to do, I'm writing here in place is equal to true. I'm giving the in place is equal to true here, and now I'm closing this. Now I'm closing this, pressing the enter key, and you check the df2. So now true false, true false, true false. You can see now it is true false, true false. So what is the advantage of this? If we are going to access the particular row and column, suppose I'm writing here df loc and I'm giving the true here. So what happened? There is a problem. I have to use the proper syntax. Let's see what the problem is there. df2. So now I'm writing here df2 dot loc, and I'm giving here true comma and colon, and I'm accessing in this way. Yeah. So look at this. Only true values I'm getting. I'm getting the two parts only. What's given? The name, marks, and true, true, true. Only Muskan Yadav. Why? And why not Saloni is there? Why not Saloni is there? It's a work. It should be work like a LOC, and we don't write this way. Also, it's work. Yeah, but it's not giving the df2 log true, and it's giving only Muskan Yadav. But I want the information of Saloni also. It's not showing the Saloni. Okay, wait. I'm writing here df2 dot loc, and I'm writing here false. So what happened? In case of false, it's showing both. I think I have given some space or I have put in a single quote. That true? Oh, that is the actual problem now. Actually, I have written the wrong command here. So what I'm doing, I have to write here. I have to write in this way. True. True as a string should be converted in a true. And now you check. Now you can see, yeah, I'm writing true and I'm getting the all true rows all together. All true rows all together. Muskan and Saloni all together. And in case of false, I'm getting false record. Sorry. So now look at this. So this way we are getting the value. So that is the use of the true and false. And now you understand this. So Boolean indexing you understand. So now one thing is left, and that is the iterations. What is the meaning of the iteration? Iteration is the way through which we can get the data in a different way. Okay. So you can iterate over a data frame. Okay. So how we can iterate over a data frame? We can iterate in two manner. One is called row wise. And second is called column wise. Okay. So in a two ways we can iterate on a data frame. One is called row wise, and second is called column wise. If we are looking on the row wise, then row wise is known as the horizontal subset. It is also called horizontal subset. What is called horizontal subsets. Then column wise is known as the vertical subset. It is called vertical subset. Okay. So what is the meaning of the horizontal subset and vertical subset? And for this, we are using the iterrows method. Which method we are calling? We are calling iterrows method. For this, we are calling the iterrows method. And for this, we are calling iteritems method. Which method? Items method. Iteritesm methods we are using for the column wise or vertical subset iteration, and for row wise or horizontal subset iterations we are using the iterrows. What is the meaning of iterrows? Means row wise rows. First we are getting this row information. This is my first row information. Okay. Then we are getting the second row information. Then we are getting the third row information. Then we are getting the fourth row option. This is called iterrows. And you can say this is called horizontal subset. This is the horizontal. So this is the horizontal subset. Now this is the time for the vertical subset. So what happened? We are going to access the information in this way. First this column, then this column, then this column, and then this column, and this is called vertical subset, or this is called column wise. And for that we are using the iteritems, and for this we are using the iterrows. One more thing I want to tell you, and what is this? Whenever you are using the iterrows and iteritems, this iterrows function always return the two information. It's give the two values as a tuple output. It's return the two values as a tuple output. The first is called row index. Okay. And what is the second? The second is the series. The value are in the form of the series. First it's giving the row index. So row index is the true, and then these all values we are getting as a series. These all values we are getting as a series object. Okay. And if you are using the iteritems, so iteritems methods is also returning the two values. Okay. So it's going to iterate column wise, and it's also return the two values. And what is this? First it's giving the column index, and then it's returning a series values. Then it's giving the series value. Means this column index, and then this all values as a series object. This column index, all values as a series object. This column index and all values as a series object. It's returning like this way. Okay, so now you have to remember how you can iterate in a pandas. So for that we have two iterrows and iteritems functions. One is the row wise, second is the column wise. One is called vertical subsets. Column wise is called vertical subsets. Row wise is called horizontal subset. For the row wise we are using iterrows. For the column wise we are using iteritems. It's returning two value as a tuple format: row index and series, column index and series. Now I'm going to give you some example of this. See how you can do this and how we can access this. So look at this. What is the data frame we are having? We are having the data frame df2 here, and now I'm going to call df2 dot. I'm simply calling df2 dot iter items or iter rows. Then what output we are getting? This is giving the output in this way. Oh ho ho, we are not able to get it. No, don't worry. Actually, I have not used in a proper way. That's why I'm getting this. Actually, it's returning an object, but that object we have to access in proper way. We have to access in a proper way. So how you can do this? For that we have to use the loop here. For that we have to use the loop here. So I'm using the ri, row index, column value, or you can say series or something like this, or you can say r value, r val. I'm using the r index, rind. In short, I'm writing so that you can easily understand. Okay, for r index, and this in df2 dot iter rows. Look at this. In this way I have to use, and now I'm going to print. So first I'm printing r index, and then I'm printing r val, and now I'm pressing enter key and backspace key. Enter key and backspace key, and then I'm pressing enter key, and look at this how you are getting this output. This is the first index. Row index. First is the Muskan data, so all data is there. So this is the second index. This is the Vikas data. This is the index value, and this is the series object, Vikas value. This is the third index, and this is the Tamanna value. This is the fourth index, and this is the Saloni value. So this way we are accessing the information through the iter rows, and now the same we are going to use for the iter items. So what I'm doing, I'm going to write here for, and again I'm using here column index comma column val, okay, and in df2 dot iter items, okay, and now I'm writing c index. If you want to put some message, you can put, no problem. I'm writing here index, okay, or if you want to write here column index, then you can write col index, no problem. Column index colon, and then I'm writing here c index, and then I'm writing here values or information, and anything if you want to write, then you can write. I'm not writing this time, so I'm giving this cval and pressing backspace and enter key, and look at this how we are getting this output. The first column index is the name, remember that. So all names are here: Muskan, Vikas, Tamanna, Saloni, and their index value. Then second column index is the marks. So look at this, all marks value are together, column wise we are getting the output column wise. What is the third index? This is the class, and we are getting the class here. What is that fourth index? This is the string, and we are getting the string here. Mobile I have already deleted, so that is not available. So this way we can access and we can do the iteration. So that is the iter rows and iter items. Okay, got it? I don't think so any problem you all are having. Okay, if you want to access the individual item through this, we can access the individual item also. You can do some processing also. So now this is about to how to use the iteration in with the data frame. Next topic we are going to talk about how we can do the export and import, means how we are going to load the data from CSV file to data frame, or you can say text file to CSV file. First thing you all have to understand, what is the CSV? CSV stands for comma separated value. Comma separated value. This is the comma separated value CSV stands for. Okay. So sometime if suppose I have a text file, or you can say CSV file, in that text file or CSV file, I kept my information in this way: name, address, okay, and then I'm writing here mobile. Okay, and now I'm writing the everything here. Anjeev 95418. Sorry, why I'm writing mobile number here? I have to write the address. So now I'm writing the address here. Okay, any address I'm giving, New Delhi, and then I'm writing here mobile number 95 something like this, and then I'm writing the another record, suppose Saloni, and I'm writing here. Bangalore, okay, and I'm giving the mobile number 9696 something like this, and then I'm writing the another information, Mohit, okay, and Mohit in Chennai. Suppose I'm writing this and 9595 something number like this. So suppose I have created the data in this way, and this is the my text file or CSV file. This is the my text file, or you can say CSV file. Means in a text file, in a .t extension or .csv extension, I can save the file by this extension, or I can save the file by this extension. Doesn't matter, but we are going to understand this CSV format, so I'm going to save the file in this format. Now I want to create a data frame with the help of this file. I want to create a data frame with the help of this file. So how we can do this? If you want to this, so for that we have a one method, and the name of the method is read CSV. There is a one method, which method name is the read CSV, pd.read CSV, and it's required the name of the file name, and it's going to read the CSV file, and it's return our data frame. It's return our data frame object. It's return our data frame object. It means I have to provide the name of the data frame here. So through that you can read the CSV file. While you are writing the file name, you have to take careful here. We can write to mention the path name also sometime. Why? Because suppose your program file is stored in my program folder. Suppose your program file is in my program file folder, and your CSV file is stored in my data folder. Then how you are going to access this? So for that you have to provide the path of this folder also, and then you have to provide the name of the file. So this way you can use through the read CSV, you can access the you can read the CSV file or text file, and you can convert the data from the text file or CSV file into the data frame. Okay, but in case of suppose you have a data frame and you want to create a CSV file, you have a data frame and you want to create a CSV file. So which method we are going to use? So for that purpose, instead of the read CSV, there is a one more function, and that function is known as the toCSV. That is the toCSV, and this time this function is called through the data frame object df.toCSV, and here again we have to provide the path and file name. So when you are required to use this function is used if you want to create a CSV file through data frame. If you want to create a CSV file through data frame, for that purpose you have to use toCSV method. You have to call toCSV method. So now you got it ki how we can use the read CSV and how we can use the toCSV, and for which functions we are going to create the data frame through CSV file, and we are going to export the data from CSV to data frame, our data frame to CSV. Okay, so this two function is the important. One function is invoked through the data frame object, another function is invoked with the pandas object, okay, PD object, because it is the panda inside the panda library. Now something more you have to understand. If you are going to use the read CSV, suppose you are going to read CSV. Okay, so read CSV is having the some arguments, and that arguments you must be aware about this. Okay, what is the use of the arguments? There is a one concept. Okay, there is a one use of this. You simply write the file name here with their path. You simply write the file name. Means in this case, it assume that okay, data is available in a file is separated by comma. This is the what is the second syntax? Sometimes we are using the names argument. Inside the read CSV function, and this name arguments is used to specify your own column. your own column, means you want to specify some different column instead of the column given in the CSV file. For that purpose, we are using the names. Sometimes we are using the header, sometimes we are using the header attributes, header arguments, and it is used to specify that my CSV file does not having any header information, does not contain any header line. Means that you have started your CSV file without writing that this is the name column and this is the address column and this is the mobile column. So this information is not available, only data is available in my CSV file. For that purpose, we are using the header argument. What is the next? The next argument that is known as this CSV file we are using, and that is called skip rows. Sometimes we want to skip some rows. We don't want to get the all rows. I don't want to read from the all rows. I want to skip some rows. Okay, so we have to provide the value of skip rows, and here you have a two option. Either you can provide the value as number of rows, as you provide the how many rows you want to skip, or you can provide the value in this way also. This is the number of rows, or you can provide the value of row 1, row 2, row 3, specify the row number also. You can specify the row number by their position. It's going to skip the rows also. So sometimes we have to use this argument. Okay, sometimes you are using the index columns, means suppose by default it's going to create the data frame and their index value is assigned like this 0 1 2 3 4 5. But I don't want to use this 0 1 2 3 5 in a data frame as an index. I want to use some one column of the data as an index, and for that purpose we have to use one more arguments, and that is called index column. There is a one more column that is called index column, and with this we have to mention the name of the column as an index. Okay, so we can use this way also. So these are the some arguments which is required to use with the read CSV function instead of the file name. File name is the name through which from where you have to access the data. Instead of this, you can provide the your own column. You can skip the, you can mention that there is no header. You can skip the some rows, means I want to skip the 5 rows, or I want to skip the row number 1, row number 5, row number 9. So this way also we can use index column. I want to make the ID as an index column, so we can use in this way also. So now I'm going to show each and everything one by one, and you just try to understand. But before going to tell you anything, I have to open the notepad here, because I want to create a CSV file here. I want to create a CSV file here. So with this, I'm going to open this CSV file. Okay, so now I'm going to write here name, or sorry, I'm going to write ID, name. Don't give the space, name, and mobile number. I'm giving this much only so that I can write it very fast. 101 name. I'm writing here ANGEEV, mobile number 9541847706, and then I'm giving the 102, and name I'm writing here Saloni, and I'm giving the mobile number 98989898. Okay, and I'm giving the 103. I'm writing here Vikas. Okay, and I'm giving here 97979797. Okay, so this number I'm giving like this. Okay, so now this much information only, and now I'm going to save this file. So I'm clicking on the save, and you can save the file with CSV extension. You can save the file by with any extension. I'm going to save the file in a documents folder. Okay, and I'm saving the file in the test.csv. I can change that this is like all files and save this. So this file is saved, is already exist. I want to replace it, so I replace this. Now I'm going to close this CSV file, and later I will open it. So I have to copy the path of that. So I'm going in this, I'm moving in the documents, I'm searching the test. So where is the test is visible? It's a here test. I'm going to look at the properties, and I'm going to copy this. And you, if you don't want to copy from there, you simply click at here. You simply, no, it will not give in this way. So I'm going to look at the properties, and I'm going to copy this path. I'm going to copy this path, making a right click here and selecting this copy option, because I have to copy the path there. I don't want to type the code. So now I'm going to create a data frame. So I'm giving the data frame df5 is equal to pd dot read underscore CSV, and I'm giving the double control V, and here I'm writing here test.csv. Okay, so this way I'm giving the file name. I'm giving the file name, and now I'm executing this. I'm getting an error message here. This is the Unicode error message, and what we have to do this now, we have to mention, instead of the single slash, we have to give the two slash here. What we have to give? We have to give the two slash, because single slash is used with the escape sequence character constant, and it is counted as a special character. So what we have to do? We have to put this way, and now we are getting the error here. Expected. What is this problem with this? Pandas is exported and everything is there. So pass, return, read file, buffer, read. It's giving some error, so I think that I have to open the file again. Let's wait. I'm going to open this documents and open with notepad. So what mistake I have done? I have done something wrong. Comma I have given everywhere given ID name this. Oh, I have given the comma here also, so that's why I think there is a problem. So Control S, and now close this, minimize this, and I'm going to read the command. Write the command again, the same command. Press the enter key. Now this time it's working fine. So now DF5, look at this. My data frame is created. Okay, so this way you can create the data frame. Now you are going to use the different syntax like this, header none and something like this. A skip row, you can write here header equal to none. Okay, run this code and check the DF5 how it is working. Now it's counted, no header is there, so it's giving their own header 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now I'm going to use this, and I'm going to say skip rows 1 also. So skip rows number 1, total 1 row I want to skip, so I'm going to skip the row 1. So now it's working fine. ID name and mobile number is going to skip from there. Okay, and suppose you want to skip some more rows like this, so I'm going to write here, instead of 1, I'm going to write 1 comma 3, 1 comma 3, 2 rows is going to escape. So now look at this DF5. So what happened? 1 comma 3, this row is also going to escape. Okay, 103 is not there. So this way it's going to work. Row number 1, because ID is the row number 0. ID is the row number 0. That's why ID is not escape. It's skipping the row number 1 and row number 3. So this is the row number 1 and this is the row number 3. And look at this, what's showing? Name and Saloni one is showing here. So if you want to skip anything, one, suppose I want to skip row number 0 instead of 1. So I can write in this way also, and now you can check it's working fine. Okay, so now you can use the index column. So I'm going to use the index column as a this, and instead of skip rows I'm going to use the index column. So I'm writing here index call is equal to, what is the name of the column? I'm going to use the ID as an index column. So now there is a problem. So why there is a problem with this? First I see this ID is not there, because I have written the header is equal to none. So that's why no ID is there. So first I have to remove this header is equal to none also. It means that we have some data, so no header is there. So now it's working fine, and you can check DF5. Now its ID is used as a row index. Okay, so this way we can do this. Getting my point? So now look at this, how we can. Now we are going to use the two CSV file. Two CSV. So how we can going to convert this data frame? Suppose I'm going to use, and I'm not using the anything. I'm just using the data frame in a simple way. I'm using this data frame in a simple way. So my data frame is created here, or I have a data frame 2 also. So I want to convert this data frame 2 in a CSV file. I want to store this information in a text file. So what I will do, I will write here df2.2csv. What I will write here 2csv. And now I'm going to copy this path. I'm going to copy this path, Control C, and I'm just pasting it, Control V, and in test of the test CSV, I'm writing here test the data frame CSV. Okay, and now I'm closing this bracket and pressing the enter key. Okay, so one CSV file is created. One CSV file is created, and what is the name of that CSV file? That name is the test. Look at this test. There is a one file test df. Look at this. This is the test df file, and now I'm going to open this in a notepad, and you can see this is containing the name, marks, class, stream, the true, Muskan, Yadav, everything false, Vikas, Tamanna, Soloni. Look at this. All informations are there. All informations are there. So we can use the toCSV command to convert the data frame into the CSV file. So this way you can do this. Now there is a one more thing. By default, what happened whenever you open this file, you can see that by default it's giving the separator as comma. By default it's giving the separator as comma. But there is a one option also. You can give your own separator. You can mention your own separator, and that is this. We can use the SAP argument here. We can use the SAP argument if you want to mention the on separator here. So how we can do this? We can do this by writing this command simply. What we have to use instead of this, we can write here. First we press the enter key, and now we are writing here sap is equal to, and I'm giving the separator hash symbol. What giving? I'm giving the separator hash symbol, and now you go and check the CSV file. Now you check this CSV file, so you can find it. Okay, you can open with the notepad, and you see, okay, what is this? The hash symbol is coming here. Where is the comma? In place of comma, what is given? It's giving the hash symbol. So this way we can change the separator also. There is a one more arguments we are using generally with this toCSV command, and that is known as the nan, to check the nan value. You can check the nan value also, handling the nan value. So sometimes there is a nan value in your data frame, and suppose you want to process the nan value. So how you can process the nan value? Suppose I have the data frame 5 here. So now what I'm going to write here, I'm going to write here df5 comma name, okay, and the row index name 1, and I'm going to write here np.nan, np.n. Now what's the problem? Okay, no problem, it's a working fine. So now there is a nan value here. There is a nan value. And now I'm going to write this command again. I'm going to write this command or this command. I'm moving on this, pressing the enter key. And instead of df2, I'm writing here df5. Okay. And I'm pressing this. So now the data frame is created. Data frame is created here. And I'll just show you what happened in this data frame. I'm going to open this. Open with notepad, and you see here is the two blank space. Here is the two hash symbol is there because Saloni value is nan there. I converted the name of the Saloni to the nan. So what happened instead of nan? It's putting the blank. It's putting the blank means you can say it's putting nothing there. So I want to give some value in place of the nan. If there is a nan, I want to give some other value. So what I'm writing here, any representation not null, means there is a one argument that is known as the NA rep, and this is used to handle the nan value. NA representation n is equal to, I'm writing here no name. What I'm writing? No name. I'm giving this no name. And now you go and check that file. Now you go and check that file. You will see that instead of this, instead of the nan, it's giving the no name here. Look at this. So this way we can handle the nan value also. So this is about how to convert, how to export, import the CSV files into the data frame. So now this all pandas are revised here, and if you have any doubts, you can collect the doubts also. There are so many exercises are given in a book, revision of data visualization. So that till now we are looking on this data. This data is giving in this way. This is the data is available in this format. But if I want to represent the data in the form of the graphs, I want to show the information in this way. Okay, something like this way or like this way, I want to show something. So for that purpose, we have to use the concept of the visualizations. Means we are going to convert the data into the visual form. That is called data visualization. Okay. Now, there is a one question in mind, okay, how we can do the visualization in Pandas. If you want to do the visualization in Pandas, we have to use the one of the most famous library of Pandas, and that is called Matplotlib. That is called Matplotlib. This module we have to use. Inside this Matplotlib, there is a pyplot module. This is the pyplot interface. So we are going to use the pyplot interface. Okay, and for the pyplot, we require to install the Matplotlib on your computer. And if you have not installed, you have to simply call pip install Matplotlib, and it's going to install the Matplotlib on your computer. After installation, we require to be import. We need to put the import statements. We need to give the import statements. Okay, so we need and import statements, and how you will write the import statements. So you have to write the import statements like this: import matplotlib dot pyplot. Either you write this much, or you can write like this: bay import matplotlib. And this is the recommendation. The second way is the recommendation is that, so pyplot as PL or PT, something you can write. So it's up to you what you are going to get the shortcut. This is the plot. Plot PL is the short form of the pipeline. So either you use the alias name or you can't. But if you are not using alias name, then you have to use this command, this name everywhere whenever you are going to call the any methods of pipeline. Any methods of pipeline. Like this, I want to show the title. I want to show the title of the graph. It means that 1 minute, wait. I want to show the title of the graph, then in that case, I have to call the title method. So how you are going to call the title method? For this, you have to write the statement in this way: matplotlib dot pyplot dot title. So it's become the very lengthy. So instead of writing this much, it's better you write pl dot title. pl dot title. So this is the easier way to use this method. Okay, so now you understand which package and which library is required if you want to do the data visualization in Pandas Python. Okay, now what is the importance of the visualization? It's make the task easier to identify. Okay, it's easy to recognize the data. And pyplot is what? Pyplot is the collection of methods which is available within the Matplotlib library. Okay, which allows us to construct the 2D graphs. One thing you have to remember: pyplot is used to draw the 2D graphs. 2D graphs we are going to draw through the pyplot. Okay. And matplot library, you have, whenever you install the matplot library, its pyplot is automatically gets. So for 2D graphs, we are going to talk about this pyplot. Okay. Now what topics we have? What is the purpose of the plotting? Purpose of the plotting is very simple. What is the purpose? The purpose is that we are going to represent the data visually. Okay, to make it more interactive. What's the purpose of plotting? To represent the data visually. We want to visually present our data. Graphically, we want to present the data. Why we want to present the data graphically? Because I want to make it interactive. I want to make it presentative. And it's easy to understand also. Easy to understand, easy to explain. Anything you can say. So for that purpose, and anyone can easily, and one more thing, it is interactive means what? Anyone can easily understand this. So this anyone can understand. If I'm drawing these 3 lines and I ask you which one is the longest line, which is the shortest line, you can easily say this is A, B, C. Then you can say B is the longest, C is the smallest line. So that is the purpose of the graph visualization. Okay. Now, what types of the plots we have to make? We can make the plot. We are going to discuss, because this is the revised syllabus. So in a revised syllabus, I have discussed several things with you. But for the revised syllabus, we have to discuss only about the 3 plots. One is the line plot, second is the bar plot, third is the histogram plot. If you remember that, then this is the line plot. This is the line plot. If you remember, this is the bar plot. This is the bar graph. Okay. My handwriting is not good, so don't bother about this. And this is the frequency, and this is the histogram. If you are going to look at this, this is the histogram. Okay. So this is the histogram. This is the histogram. Actually, histogram is known as the frequency bar graph. It is also, you can say, this is known as the frequency bar graph. Frequency bar graph. Whenever the data is in this form, you need to be categorize it in a particular group. Then for that purpose, we are using the frequency. But if you are going to analyze the data, you are going to compare the data. For that purpose, we are using the bar graph. But if you want to check the flow of the data, how data is moving, when the figure is going up, when it is going down, when it is going something straight, when it is moving parallel, when it is going continuously down like this. For that purpose, we are using the line graph. Okay, so there are different uses of the line graph, bar graph, and histogram. So here we are going to talk about how to make the line plot, how to make the bar graph, how to make the histogram. So now let us discuss about the first functions. Okay, which functions we have to use to make the bar graph. The first thing I'm going to tell you, the first thing we have to write down the import statements. So I'm going to write the import statement. The first import matplotlib, matplotlib dot pyplot. I'm going to do everything in an interactive mode. I'm not using the script mode today. I'm telling everything in an interactive mode. Okay, as a PL. Okay, so my matplotlib library I'm going to just import. It will take some time and it's imported. Already I have imported the NumPy and Pandas. Already is imported. Okay. So now there are three libraries are imported in my program: Pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib. Okay. Now I am capable to use the anyone. Okay. But here we are going to use the most of time either sometime for creation of data we need to use the NumPy, or maybe no need to use. Okay. And we need to use the plot function. Okay. Plot function. So now which plot functions we are going to use? So if you want to make the line chart, so now I'm going to talk about the line chart. If how we can make the line chart. Okay. So the first we are going to talk about the line chart, and for the line chart, there is a one method, and the method is known as the plot. The method is known as the plot. So we are going to use the plot function. Which function we are going to use? We are going to use the plot function. Okay. So what is the syntax of the plot function? First, you have to understand what is the syntax of the plot function. Normally, plot function is required two data. One is called X data and second is called Y data. You can write any name here, but first data is the X and second is the Y. So we need X data and Y data if we want to make the plot. Sometimes we need to use the level here. Sometimes we can use the, if you want to change the color, then we have to use the color code here. Then we have to use the color code. This color code is the line color code. If you are not giving anything, the color automatically decided by the computer. So you have to give the color code. Okay. Then after that, you have to think about the line width. Then after you have to think about the line width. Okay. So what types of the line width you can you want to think? That means what is the thickness of the line. Next, you have to think about the line style. LS stands for line style. This is called line style. We have to think about the line style, dotted line, straight line, dash line, dotted line, dash dot line, something like this. So we have to think about the line style. Okay. And I think this much enough. And there is a one more thing that is called marker size and marker type. Sometimes we are using the marker size and marker type also. So there is a marker also. Okay. And there is a marker size also. I will tell you what is the marker and what is the marker size. I'm going to tell everything. Don't worry. And there is a marker age color also. Marker age color. Okay. So this much arguments we are going to use with the plot function. Now I'm going to tell you everything, and there are some combinations also. Okay. So now you understand how many arguments are there. The first thing, this is called, first argument is the x-axis, y-axis, color code. What is the line color code you want? What is the line width you want? What is the line style you want? What is the marker? What is the marker size? What is the marker age color? So this is the syntax of the plot function. Now I'm going to use one thing I want to tell you, color code. For the color code, you are supposed to use the color name. You can use the color name, or you can use the short name of the color. So this is B, or you can use the blue, or you can use the hexadecimal code of the blue. You can use the hexadecimal code of the blue also, but most frequently we are using this short color name, because this is the enough for us. Okay, so don't bother about too much about this. Line width means you have to supply the numerical value to the line width, like this 2, 3, 5, 6, anything. Line style, there are 4 types of the line style are there. Line styles are the 4 types. One is line style is known as the dash. So we either you can type the dash or you can give this dash here. Okay. Second is the solid. We can give the solid. Sorry, for the dash we have to put the double minus. I think that line style for the dash. Yeah. Yes, this is for the dash we have to put the double dash. Okay. For the solid we have to put the only one dash. And there is a one more line is there, that is called dotted line style. Okay. And there is a one dotted line style. For the dotted, either you use the dotted or you can use this symbol here. You can use this symbol here, and there is a one more line style is that this is called dash dotted. This is called dash dotted. Okay, so dash dot, not dash dot. This is called dash dot, DSH dot. So for that we are using this and dot style, this line style. So these are the different line styles are there. So now I'm going to discuss about first color code, line base and line style, and then I'm going to write the other syntax of this. Okay, so first I'm going to create the data. So I'm just taking the x-axis data. I'm taking the data as a list value 1, 5, 3, 6, 9, 6. So I have taken the 5 data here. Then I'm creating the y-axis data. You can take any data here. I'm writing here 2, 5, 7, 3, 8. Okay, or 9 I have written here. Okay, and now I'm going to simply call pl dot plot. Okay, and I'm passing the x comma y. I'm passing the x comma y. Simply I pass its plot, but it's not going to show the plot here. So how you can show the plot? For that purpose, you have to write down the pl dot show. pl dot show. So show function is used to show the graphs. Show function is the similar to the print function. If you are not going to use the show function, then it's not going to print the graph. You are not able to see the figure. And any type you can change. So now I'm going to terminate this. When you terminate, you are getting the prompt here. Otherwise, you are not getting the prompt in the interactive mode, and you are not able to type the next command. If you want to change the data, you can change, but I'm not going to change the data. I'm going to use the other combination. First, I'm going to use the color code. I'm giving the red. This is the red line. So one thing more. I'm going to use the multiple commands here. Here dot show. I'm going to use the multiple commands. So now plotting also and showing also. So if you want to write the multiple command in interactive mode, you have to use the semicolon as a separator, and through that you can give the multiple commands. So I'm giving the two commands here. First my plot, and then I'm giving the pl dot show in a one go. And look at this, I'm getting the output here, and now the color code is the red here. Now the next time I'm going to use the same command, but this time I'm going to use the line width also. I'm going to use the line width also. So I'm using the line width, and I'm giving the one value here 5. Okay, and I'm pressing the enter key, and now you can see the thickness of the line is increased. Thickness of the line is increased. What is the next? Next I'm going to use the line style here. So for the line style, what we have to use, I'm using the ls, and ls equal to, I'm writing here dotted. What I'm writing here, I'm writing here dotted, and now I'm pressing enter key, and now you can see how the line is showing here. So this is the dotted. If you want to use something else, suppose you want to use dash dot, you want to use dash dot means dash as well as dot also. So you can use to dash dot in this way and put the enter key here, and now look at this. First is the dash, this is the dash line, and dot, dash and dot. You can easily find out how it's showing here. How it's showing here. Okay, so look at this. This is the dash and this is the dot. Dash dot, dash dot, dash dot. So this way you can make this graph also. Okay. Yeah, I am showing you how to change the figure size also. Don't bother about this. You just give me time. I can show you everything. Okay, how to change the figure size. Don't bother about this. Everything I'm going to discuss with you. So one by one, but just give a time to me. I'm trying to complete the whole topic in a very quick way. So that's why don't bother about this. For the figure size, we are using the figure size method. There is a figure size method is there. So we are using that method. I'll tell you how we are going to use that method also. Okay. So now, at last I will tell you, first I'm completing this. So now I'm going to use this command again. And this time I'm going to change the marker type also. So we have to use the marker type here. Line style, you understand? So you can give the line style in short form also. I'm putting the just double dash. And now I'm executing this. Sorry, why is coming save button? So now look at this. It's showing the double dot here. Okay. So this way you can make it double dot. Okay now. So now you close this. So you understand this. You understand this. How can you use the line style? How can you use the line width? How can you use the color code? What is the next? The next is the marker. How can you use the marker? And what is the marker age color? Okay. And what is the marker size? We are going to specify these things together now only. So look at this. I'm going to use this function here, and here I'm writing the marker. I'm giving the line style is single dot, and now I'm using the here marker. And as I told you, there are 16 to 17 marker types are there. There are 16 to 17 marker types are there. So what types are there? There is a point marker. For that we have to use point. There is a pixel marker. For you that we have to use comma. Okay, there is a circle marker. For that we are using the O. There is a plus marker. For that you can use plus. There is a S for a square marker, D for diamond marker. Okay, H for hexagon marker. Capital H is also for the hexagon marker. Okay, 1 for the try-down marker, 2 for the this. So it is given in a book. So from there you can just note down everything. At least 4 to 5 marker type you have to learn. At least 4 to 5 marker type. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to run this. Now I'm going to run this code. So what I'm doing, I'm going to change the marker here. And what marker I'm going to, first I'm giving the default marker, that is the small o, and pressing the enter key, and look at this, the marker is showing here. And it's not visible in a proper way. So what I'm doing, I'm going to remove the line width here. I'm going to remove the line width. This time I'm going to remove the line width from here. You can see that. Okay, now I'm deleting this and I'm using the marker, and this time you can see your marker is showing in a proper way. Okay. So now if you want to change the size of the marker, then what we have to use, and if you want to change the marker age color, so what we have to use, marker size, and I'm giving the marker size is the 20 pixel, and now I'm executing this command. You can see this is the marker size. So it is the 20 pixel marker size is there. 20 unit we can say that's better. Don't say 20 pixel here. And if you want to change the marker age color means the boundary color of the marker. If you want to change it, you can give the marker age color also. So I am giving here black. I'm giving here black. So for the black, I have to use the K, and I'm pressing the enter key. And now look at this. This is the marker age color. Which color? You can see that around the circle, it's showing the one black line also. Black circle is there. This is actually age color. So now this is about the plot function. Almost everything I use. There is a one more concept, that is the special behavior of the plot function. Normally it is used if you are going to remove, suppose I'm not using the line style, I'm using this command in this way, and look at this, what I'm doing, I'm removing the line style here, I'm not giving the line style here, okay, and I'm using this command. It's fine, it's working fantastic without any problem. But what happen if I'm going to write O here? I'm going to write O here, okay. Now look at this, in this command here I'm going to put the O, here I'm going to put the O, means the color of the line and the type of the marker, I'm using the all together. I'm using the all together, and now I'm removing the marker from there, but I'm using the marker size and everything, all that. So look at this, what happened. If you are using the color code and the marker type all together, then it's showing the special behavior, and it is just like a scatter chart. It is just like a scatter chart. But if you are going to use the line style with this command, if suppose I am using the ls command also, ls argument also, then it is not going to work as a scatter chart. It's work like a normal command. And look at this, now the line is showing, means the marker type position you can change. You can use the marker type with the color code also. And if you want to make a line chart, then this is the compulsory you require to be use the ls. Otherwise, if you are remove the ls from there and using the marker type and the color all together in this way, in that case, it's going to make the scatter chart. So these things you have to understand, and these things you have to remember. Might be possible in a board exam, you are getting a questions. In that question, they can just give this command and they are not using the ls here, or sometimes they are using the ls here, and you get confused what types of the chart they are going to make. It's a scatter chart or it's a line chart. So these things you have to remember that. Okay. So now this is about the line plot. So nothing else left in the line plot. The one question is asked by the how we can change the figure size. So figure size we can change by using the figure functions. For that we need to call the figure functions, and I'll show you this figure size later. Don't worry. So which functions we have to use to change the figure size? I'm telling you. For that there is a one function, that function known as just I'm writing here pl.figure. Figure function I have to use, and in the figure function I have to use the fixed size argument. You have to use the fixed size argument, and this fixed size is required length. First we have to mention the width, and then we have to mention the width and height, you can say. So two arguments are there. This is the length and width. It's better you say in this way. So you have to provide the two arguments here. This is the width, this is width, and this is the height actually. Okay, so this way you can provide the value here. If you are giving this 15, so 15 is just going to increase the width, and this 7 is assumed as a height. So now you think it is the length or width. This is the length and this is the width. Accordingly, if we are going to look at the rectangle, then this is the length and this is the width. So this is LW. It's okay, length and width. So these two arguments we have to provide to the figure size, this two value as a tuple value, if you want to change the figure size. Okay. Color of marker, you can change that. Why not? Normally the color of marker is depend upon the line color. It's totally depend upon the line color. Age color we can change, but the color of marker is depend upon the line color. So whatever the color you are using, the same color is going to the marker color. Okay. What is the next? Next we are going to talk about the bar graph. So next graph is the bar graph. What is the bar graph? We all are aware about the bar graph. What is the bar graph and how you can make the bar graph? Anybody can tell me about this? So the time is about to over. So you need to be join the class again. Okay. So bar graph, for the bar graph we have to call the bar function. Which functions we have to call? We have to call the bar functions to make the bar graph. Okay. Like a line graph, bar graph is also required two arguments, x, y, where x is showing the position on the x-axis. It's showing the position on the x-axis, and y is showing the height. Y is showing the height of the bar. Y is showing the height of the bar. So simply, if you want to make the bar graph, you require the two lists like this way. I'm going to show you just now. Just wait here. Okay. In this. Okay, now so look at this here. Now suppose I am going to write the name equal to, and I have the some name here. Suppose I'm writing here T, and I'm writing here P, and I'm writing here Q, I'm writing here V. Okay, some name is here with me. Okay, and now I'm going to write the marks or something like this, marks. Okay, and here I'm going to give the some marks 87, 90. Okay, 68, 7, and 100, something like this I have given. And now I'm going to make the bar graph. So what I'm going to write, pl.bar. What I'm writing, pl.bar. And I'm simply providing the two argument, name, comma, marks. I'm nothing giving here, nothing I'm giving. So look at this. It's a created, and at last I have to call pl.show. I have to call the show function. And now look at this, the graph is showing here. So in a simply, if you want to make it very simple, then you can make it this way. If you want to add the level, suppose I want to show the level, this topic I'm going to finish right now. If you want to add the level, what is the meaning of the level? There is a two levels, x level and y level, x level and y level. And what is the meaning of the title? This is the title. This is the title. Okay. And what is the meaning of legend? Legend is used at this place to show that which color is referred to what and which color is referred to what. If suppose this is the single graph, if we are going to make the multiple graphs for representing the multiple students, suppose there is a one is the science score, second is the social sciences score, third is the math score, and I want to draw all bars together for that purpose. In that case, we require a legend so that we can identify that this bar is referred to the math and this bar is referred to the science and this refer to the social science, something like this. Okay, so for that we are using the legend. Okay, so how we can show the title, how we can show the level, everything I'm just telling you. To show the title, we are called the title function. To show the level of x-axis, we are calling the x level. To show the level of y-axis, we are calling the y level. And to show the legend, we are calling the legend. Sorry, Which function? We are calling the legend. Okay, legend is required one optional argument that is called location. The default value of location is 1. There are 4 values is possible for the location. This is the location 1, this is the location 2, this is the location 3, and this is the location 4. If you are giving one location, then the legend will be appear at this position. This is called right top corner, right top corner. If you are giving 2, left top corner. If you are giving 3, this is the bottom left corner, and this is the bottom right corner. Okay, so you can use the string also, and you can use the number also. Okay, right top and something like this. Okay, so it's better you use this number. Remember this number 1, 2, 3, 4 position. Remember that this is the right top corner, this is the left top corner, this is the bottom left corner. Okay, left bottom you can say, and this is the right bottom you can say. Okay, so this way we can use the legend X level, Y level. So now I'm going to show you the multiple graphs here, multiple bar charts here, how we can show the multiple bar charts. Suppose I want to make the multiple bar and I want to show the legend also. So what I'm going to do this, instead of this marks, I'm going to make it, this is the marks of the signs, this is the marks of the signs. Now I'm going to copy the same thing, and this time I'm using the social science here, and I'm going to just change the sum value of this social science marks. Suppose I'm giving 57, I'm giving this 80, I'm giving this 60, 87, and here I'm giving this 97, 90 or 19, something like this. Okay, now I'm going to make our own maths score also, maths equal to, and I'm giving 25, 35, 68, 95. Okay, something like this. Now I want to make the 3 graphs. I want to make the 3 graphs. So what I have to use, I have to use the TLT bar, and I'm going to change the figure size also. So if you want to change the figure size, you have to first call the figure, and then you have to call the figure size, and then you have to mention the length and width here. So I'm just giving here 10 comma 8. Okay, so this value I'm giving here. Okay, now first call the figure size, then you have to require use this. And now look at this 10 comma 8 is what happened. It is the 1000 into 800 pixels here. Okay, look at the pixel size is given here. Okay, so it's just multiply by the 100, whatever the value you are giving there. Now I'm going to call the bar function. So what I'm writing, PL bar. I'm going to x-axis and y-axis, everything I'll show you. So I'm going to call the first bar function, and then I will show the letter and everything. So this is the first time I'm calling the bar function. What I'm using here name, comma, and I'm giving the signs, and one more argument I'm going to use. Why? Because I'm going to use the legend here also. So for the legend, level is the necessary. This is called labeling of bar. I'm just giving the labeling to bar. So this is the my science level. If you want to change the color, you can use the color here. If you want to change the color, you want to decide your own color, you want to decide the color of bar, you can decide your color. Otherwise, the system will automatically decide the color of this. Now again, I'm writing PL dot bar, and I'm giving the name, comma, and this time I'm giving social science, and I'm giving the level equal to, and here I'm giving the social science. Okay, and I want to use the color also. I want my own color. Just I want to check it. Okay, there is a problem. It's a colors, I think, something like this. So I think it's a colors. No, it's not working. Bar color as color. Okay, leave it. Leave this color here. We will talk about this later because I have to finish this. What happened? Oh, color is fine. I think the problem with the level command. I have used the wrong spelling of the level here. So that's why I'm getting this much problem. BLE. Level. Okay, this is the level. Okay, so everything is fine here. So now I'm going to use, this is the science, and next time I'm using the maths here. This is the maths, and level is fine. Level I'm just changing and I'm making it maths. Okay, and color I'm not giving this time. The color will be decided by system automatically. Okay, so now look at this, and now I'm going to use PL dot title. I'm giving the title and I'm writing here my bar chart. Okay, or a score sheet, something, whatever you want to write. Now I'm writing the PL dot X level name. PL dot X level name. Okay, what happened? PL dot, again a spelling mistake, LABEL. Okay, level. and what I'm writing here name. Okay, now I'm going to call this method again, and this time instead of x I'm writing here y, and level I'm writing name, I'm giving a score. Okay, and now I'm going to call the legend method, lengend legend, and pl.legend. And if you want to use the log, you can give the log. If you're not giving log, then it's okay, no problem, log also. And at last I'm going to call the show function. So now look at this, my graph is here. Look at this, my graph is here. It's showing the bar graph here in this way. About time is going to end now, I think. What times? This is 1 minute is left only. Okay, so now look at this, my graph is showing here. My graph is showing here, and all graphs are showing at this position in this way. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you ki how can we make the bar graph. That bar graph will contain the bars not like a stack manner. It's just after one another. Okay. So what we will do for that, we have to do some little bit calculations. Okay. So how you can do this calculation? For that, I'm just taking, suppose this is our name. So name we are having. So what happened? We are making the 3 bars here. We are making the 3 bars here. So what I'm doing, I'm going to call the bar function again. How we can do this? But we are doing the some calculation here also. So now I'm going to create a one numpy array. So I'm going to write here numpy array, and what is the size of the array? I'm going to get the array size is the 4. 4, yeah, 4. I'm going to get the array size is the 4. So for that I have to call the range function. So I call the range function, and it will go to create the array here, numpy array of 4. Okay. So, and I'm getting the value from 1 to 0 to 4. Chalo, keep it like this way. No problem. I'm just thinking, checking this. Okay. Now I'm having the X element also. So we are having the name, we are having the maths, we are having the science, we are having the social science, and I'm going to call the bar function again, PL bar. And first time I'm calling the bar function. First time I'm calling the bar function with the help of the name argument. I'm just writing here name comma, and which subject I'm going to show the science subject. And one more argument I'm going to use, that is called width. That is called width. I'm going to give the unique width, fixed width to the every bar. By default, it is the adjusted according to the width of the figure, but I'm going to decide the what width I want to give the bar. So I'm writing here width 03, and then I'm going to use the level label, and I'm giving here level name is the science. Okay, science. Okay, level I'm using because I want to use the legend here also. Now the next is that in the next I'm not using the x here, I'm using the x plus 0.3. I'm using the x plus 0.3, and this is I'm giving the social science, and level is also I'm going to change social science, and width of the bar I'm taking the same here. Next I'm calling here x point 0.3, and I'm calling here x plus 0.6, x plus 0.6, and this is my maths. This is my maths. Okay, and width is this, and level I'm changing here. I'm writing here maths. Okay, and now I'm calling the legend method, legend legend, and location I'm giving the 2 here. I want to just show you how it's working. Now I'm calling the title I'm giving my score analysis. You can give any title here, analysis. Okay, and this much is over, and now I'm going to make this what I have to do, I have to write the x level. Okay, I have to create a file. It's better because in this way I have to type so much. Okay, then I'm giving the name here and pl dot y level, and I'm giving the here a score. Okay, and now I'm calling, spelling is wrong here, so I'm typing this again, and I'm deleting this PL and making this Y, and I'm writing here a score. Okay, so now fine, and now I'm calling the PL dot show. So you can look at this, how it's working. Now it is fine. So this way you can make the graph of this. Look at this. Getting my point? So the legend is showing this time, and look at this, all graph are showing all together. So this calculation is the very important here. Which calculations? I'm talking about this calculation which I did here. Yeah, I have created a numpy array First, I have created one numpy array. First bar is showing just name and signs. So this graph is created on the basis of the first command. This graph is created. Width is the 0.3. So this is the 0.3 here. Okay. Now here x plus 0.3 means what? The first bar is pointed at the 0 position. So the first value is 0, 0 plus 3. So what happened? It's going to make the next graph here. Next graph is 0.6. So from here to 0.6, it's going to make the next graph at this position. Okay. So this way you can make the graph. So now you understand this. Okay, how I'm doing this, and here again I'm doing this next calculation. This is the 1 position, so 1 plus 3, 1 plus 6, 2 position, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 6, like this way. So I'm just deciding the position of the each bar, and label I'm using. Through the label, legend is going to identify okay, this is the science, this color for the science, this color for the social science, this color for the maths. Okay. Now there is a one more function, and that function is called bar h. So instead of the bar, if you call the bar h function, suppose you call the bar h function instead of the bar, then what happen in that case? We are getting the horizontal bar graph. This is called horizontal bar graph. Okay. So now I'm showing you how can make the horizontal bar graph. I'm just pressing the enter key here. Okay. I'm just pressing the enter key. Sorry, first I have to stop this figure, then I am able to use the interactive mode. Actually, I'm working in interactive mode, and now I'm calling the bar h here. What I'm calling bar h. So bar h got multiple values for argument width. So with the bar h, we are not able to do the width argument. I think it's not working for the bar h. Okay. So maybe possible. So don't worry, no problem. I'm going to simply call br dot bar h, and I'm giving the name comma signs. Okay, a name comma signs only this much, and bl dot show. So bar h function I call. So look at this. This is the horizontal bar graph. So this way you can make the horizontal bar graph also. Okay now. So I hope you understand this concept. Now the next is the how to save the figure. Saving of figure I'm going to tell you. If you want to save the figure, there is a one command here. This command, through this we can save the figure. This command, you can click on this figure. It will save the figure. Okay. And if you want to make the another figure, again I'm going to check it. Its figure is available dot or not. Wait, I'm going to check the figure is available or no. This figure is not available. Once I close, figure is going to destroy. So what happened? I'm going to call this function, and now I'm going to call pl dot save figure. Okay, save figure, and we have to provide the name of the file. So I'm just giving the name of the file, d colon slash test.jpg. So you can save your figure in jpg format. It's showing the error here. Why? Because I think there is a problem with this. It's not saving the figure. Why? Okay, now I'll discuss about this. How can save figure is used to the save figure, but maybe possible that I'm using in interactive mode. That's why I'm getting this error message. Might be possible, but this is not happen. So saving a figure is a save figure only. I have to use the save figure command, and where is the command is? Actually, in interactive mode, maybe problem. There is a what command I have written here. Wait, I have written the command plt dot save fig. Command is the correct. Command is the correct. Okay. Path. There is a problem with this. That actually I'm using in interactive mode. So I have to give the double slash here. It's working fine. So now I'm going to save them and show them my D drive. And in a D drive, I'm going to show you my folder, my file here. So look at this. The figure name is the test.jpg. I'm going on a D drive and I'm searching on the test.jpg. This is the JPG file. This is the JPG file. So I'm just opening the file. Look at this. This is the figure is saved here. Okay. So actually, where is the mistake made by me? I have given the single backslash. I have to give the double backslash. Okay. And if you are going to show, then you can show the figure by pl dot show. So same figure will be appear. So this is about the plot functions, and sorry, this is about the bar function and bar h function. So now you understand how to make the line chart. Now you understand this much topics are covered here, and only one topic are left, that is the histogram. So line plot done, bar graph done, how to draw the figure, how to save the figure, what is the purpose of this, customizing, how can add the label, how can add the title, how can add the legend. These all topics are over. Only histograms are left. So now I'm going to discuss with you about the histogram, so how we can make the histogram. So for the histogram, instead of this interactive mode, I'm going to use the script mode here, because in this I have to type so much. So now I don't want to type this much. I'm going to save my time. So how can I do this? 1 minute, just wait. I have to adjust the size of this. So the size is too much big. So now the size is adjusted here. Okay. And now I'm going to tell you how we can make the program, how we can make the histogram chart. So what is the histogram chart? First thing we have to understand what is the histogram chart. Actually, histogram is a chart in which we are going to show the data on the basis of frequency. First of all, we have to group up the data. Suppose anyone told you you just go and collect the score of the your classmates. Suppose you are going to collect the score. Suppose this is the 20, 10, 15, 16, 19, 18, 15, 20. Okay, I'm going to collect the value from 10 to 20 only. Okay, 11, 16, 19. Okay, how much this? 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 to 10, 11. I'm going to do one more, two or three more thing. 19. Okay, 15, 20. So this is the 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 and 12 to 12 and 113 and one more data I'm going to take. So this is the 19. Now I'm going to group up the data. I'm going to group up the data. On the basis of that, I'm going to see that I'm showing the first data group is 10 to 13. Second is the 13 to 16. And this is not good. This is not good, 10 to 13, because I want something else. Okay. It's depend upon actually the number of beans. How many beans we want. How many beans we want, because there is data is the 14 here. 14 data is there and we want how many beans we want. Suppose 4 beans. So I have to divide this 14 by the first we have to collect the value from 20 to 10. So take the differentiate between this and you are getting the 10. So divide the 10 by the 4, you are getting the 2.5, something like this. So this range we have to say. So I'm going to take this is 30. This is good. 13 to 16. 16 to 19 and 19 to 22. Now 4 beans are there. Now going to count. 13 will be not included here. It will be included here. 16 will be not included here. It will included here. So this is the my group. This is the my group, and now I'm going to count the frequency. I'm going to count the frequency. So how many values are come in between 10 to 13? So value number 1, value number 2. Only 2 values are there. Okay. Now 13 to 16. Value number 1 and value number 2. Okay. Value number 3. So 3 values are there. 16 to 19. Value number 1. Okay. Value number 2. Value number 3. Okay. So 3 values are there. 19 to 20. Value number 1. Value number 2. Value number 3. Value number 4. Value number 5. Value number 6. So 6 is there. Now I have to make the frequency diagram. Okay. So how we can make the frequency diagram here means histogram. How you can make the histogram. So now if you are going to make the histogram, so I'm going to write the group here. This is the 10. This is the 13, this is the 16, this is the 19, this is the 22. Okay. So what 10 to 13, and this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4, this is the 5, and this is the 6. Okay. So 10 to 13, it means I have to make a histogram of this height. Okay. 13 to 16 means what? This is 3 also. So again, I have to make this one. 19 to 16 to 19 is 3. Sorry. First is the 2 only. No? First is the 2 only. First is not like this way. So what I have to do, I have to make this 2 height only. The height of first is the 2 only. Third is the this, and 16 to 90 is also 3. So I have to make this, and this is the 6 only. So we have to make like this way. So this is called histogram. This is called histogram. So it is also known as a frequency graph. Okay, you can say that frequency graph. So how we can make the histogram? Histogram, for the histogram, we need to call the hist function. There is a hist function in Pyplot. So you require to be called this hist function. Hist function is required several data. Out of this, the first is the data. First is the data. First is the data here. Okay. So first thing you have to provide the data, and then you have to, after the data, you have to tell about the beans. Tell about the beans. This bean is decided. What is the beans? This is the beans. Means in how many groups you are going to divide. How many groups? That much bar is only there. Okay. So beans means the number of groups you can say, and beans means you can say number of the bars also. Okay, so that is decided by this. So first thing is the data, second thing the bins. This is the too much important component. These two things are the most important. Rest are the just for the customization and something else, like for that purpose we are using it here. So now I'm going to write the some command here. So what I'm doing, I'm going to write here import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Okay, import pandas as pd, and जरूरत तो नहीं है, but I am importing import numpy as np. Okay, and now I am going to create the some data here. So what I am doing to, how we can create the data, I am going to call numpy dot random dot rand int between 1 comma no 10 comma 20 comma 14 data. I want 14 data. Let's I see it's working or not. So I'm just scripting print x. I'm saving the program because I need to save the program, and I'm saving it's a test demo. Okay, I'm saving this, and now I'm going to run the program. Is it working or not? First I have to check this. Wait. It's working or not. There is error. NumPy is not defined. Okay, I have to call np, save as and run it. First check what happened with this. Now we are getting the numbers here. We are getting this number. So I'm going to copy this number. I'm going to copy this number, and now I'm going to make this comment and I'm pasting it. This is the my fixed value. Now I've fixed the value. I don't want to get the every time different numbers and different graphs. So my graph is fixed and my data is ready. So now I'm going to call the histogram function. So I'm calling the hist and I'm giving x only. I'm giving x only, and then I'm calling the plt.show. And now I'm sharing and running the program, and you can see your histogram is just showing there is a syntax error. And what is the syntax error? Why this is the syntax error is there? Okay, I have done the silly mistake here. Instead of that, I have to write these things. And now I'm going to copy. But actually, there is a missing of the comma. There is a missing of the comma. So instead of writing the comma everywhere, I'm going to just print. I have printed the x in the interactive mode, and now I'm getting the data separated by comma. Okay, huh? Is it fine? Yeah, run this code, and now you will see your histogram is ready. Your histogram is ready. Look at this, your histogram. If you are not satisfied with this histogram, no problem. I'm going to take the another data. So I'm also not satisfied with this histogram. It's saying something. Okay, now I'm going to change this. Actually, what happened whenever you run this code, again, you look at this carefully. How many beans are there? First, you find out the number of beans. I told you that by default, the bean size is the 10. By default, the bean size is the 10. How I am saying that? Look at this. This is a bin number 1, 2, 3. There is no value in between this. The frequency of this bin is 0. That's why nothing is showing here. This is the 4, this is the 5th, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the total number of bins. So this is the default value of the bins. So you can change it. You can change it. Don't bother about this. You can change it. So how you can change it? For that, you have to write down here. You have to specify the bin size. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to specify the bin size 4 only. I'm going to specify the bin size 4 only, and now run the code, and you will see what you are getting here. Okay, what you are getting here. Now look at this, the data is gets changed, figure is gets changed. This is the 4th value, 2 value, 3 value, and 5 value. So 5 plus 3, 8, plus 2, 10, and plus 4, 14. How many data are there? There are 14 data. So these 14 data are divided into the 4 groups. So 4 beans are there. You can increase the number of beans. You can write 5 here, you can write 6 here. So accordingly, you can write this 5 here and 6 here and run this. So now you understand how can decide the beans. Now what is the next? Next is there is some more arguments are there. That is known as the cumulative, commutative, histotype, and orientation. Okay. So first I'm going to tell you what is the orientation. Orientation, through that we can change the orientation of the histogram. By default, orientation of the histogram is the vertical. If you want to make it horizontal, you have to write down the horizontal here. What you have to write down? You have to write down horizontal here. So you just write down this way, and now the orientation of the graph is gets changed. Look at this. This orientation is gets changed. So for that purpose, orientation is used to just change the orientation of the graph. Okay. So now you understand what is the use of the orientation. Second, I'm going to tell you about the cumulative frequency. What is the meaning of the cumulative frequency? First, I'm going to show you this way. Achha, here you can write beans equal to 5, or you can write 5 only. because second argument is by default for the beans. Okay, so you can write beans equal to 5 or this way. So now look at this. Now I'm telling you what is the cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency means the how many data are there. The first is the 4. So in a cumulative frequency, what happened? This is 1 only. So what happened in a cumulative frequency? This is going to add. So second bar is the 4 plus 1. This is the 5 height. How many data are there? This is the 3 here. So what happened? 5 plus 3, 8. So it's become 8 size here total. Cumulative frequency is this way. First height is the 4. Second is the 5. Third is the 8. What is the size of this? This is 2. So next is the 10. What is the size of this? This is 4. So next is the 14. So this way we are getting the cumulative frequency. This is called cumulative frequency. So if we are going to add the cumulative attributes with this function here, if I'm going to add the cumulative frequency here, okay, so what happened in this case? It's going to make a cumulative frequency diagram. So what do you have to write? You have to write down cumulative, cumulative, cumulative is equal to, by default it is false, so you have to give it value true. You have to give its value true and run this code, and now you will see what happened here. There is a problem. Spelling is wrong. Latib. Okay. Lativ. Okay, the spelling is wrong. So now run this and you will see what happened. This is the cumulative 4, 5, 8. I told you 10 and 14. So this way we can make the cumulative frequency. So you can change the types of this. And there is a one last argument that is we are using with the histogram, and that is known as the hist type. That is known as the hist type. So hist type is just saying that what is the type of the histogram. How many types of the histogram? Normally it is 4 types. One is called bar. Second is called bar stacked. Third is called a step. And fourth is called a step filled. Okay, a step filled. So now I'm going to show you a step and a step fill and bar. First I'm going to show, and then we are going to talk about the bar stack. Okay, so let's see. So now I'm going to use this here, and cumulative is true. Now I'm going to remove the cumulative. I don't want the cumulative frequency here. So first I'm going to use his type, and here I'm writing the step. Okay, first you just understand what is the difference between a step and a step fill. Okay, what is the difference between a step? This is the step. Means in that case, what happened is just drawing the line. It's not filling the rectangle. Rectangles are not filled in this case. Okay, but if you are going to write here a step filled, then what happened? This rectangle is going to fill also. It's filled with the color. Okay, and that is the default color that you know better. Okay, which color is going. So this is the step filled. Step filled and bar almost this looks like a same. And the default diagram is the bar type. The default is the bar type. If nothing is given, then it is looks like a bar. It is looks like a bar. So it's arranged side by side. It's arranged side by side. There is a one difference between the step and step field. Normally you are not getting that through the figure. You are not going to understand. But I am telling you what happened in a bar. In a bar, it's drawn like this way. Means every time it's going to draw the bar. It's going to draw the bar. Okay, every time. This is the bar, but it is filled with the color. But in case of the step fill, what happened? This is just like a this way. Okay, it doesn't matter it's going to fill or not. It doesn't matter it's going to fill or not, but it's going to draw like this way. Okay, so this types of the bars it's going to draw. So this is called a step filled. If it's filled with the color, then it just looks like a step fill. So there is just something difference between this. This is looks like a bar, standing bar is here, and this is looks like the stepping is there, but it is gets filled with the color. Okay. Now, what is the bar stack? Bar stack is used whenever we are going to make the multiple histogram. Means suppose I am having the multiple data, and on the basis of that multiple data, I want to make any another histogram. So what happened this time? I am going to create the another data here, y equal to. I am creating the another data also y equal to, and I am going to provide the two data here, x comma y. Okay, and now and now I am writing here bar stack. I am writing here bar stack. So in this case, if you are going to write the bar stack, you are going to look at this ki how it's going to show. It's going to show the two bars in just one upon another. It's a stack format. It is the stack format. Look at this. This is the another types of the histogram. Okay, so this is the types of the histogram, and this is the way through which we can make the histogram. Okay, and now the almost everything is discussed with me. What is the histogram? What is this? So the complete pandas and data visualizations topic is over here. Revision is over here.